violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting just took place. Excuse me, I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dog. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo. Ain't that nigga J.
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass
Yeah,
song
that's
on.
that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me. What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
A well-known Detroit area radio reporter is dead this morning, and his 2 children are injured after a chaotic crime scene at his home. Police say they found a 35-year-old woman and a 5-year-old girl stabbed and injured outside a condo in Chesterfield, Michigan. Inside the condo, they found the body of 57-year-old Jim Matthews and a 10-year-old boy who'd been badly beaten. Investigators say the suspected killer was still in the house, but had overdosed and was suffering from self-inflicted wounds.
He was welcomed into the home initially. From that point, it's still too early to really go into what happened.
Oh my gosh. Neighbors say the suspect lived across the street. Matthews had just worked the overnight anchor shift at Detroit's WWJ.
A terrible attack in Chesterfield Township, and tonight we are learning WWJ overnight news anchor Jim Matthews was the man killed. His family also injured, including his 2 children, ages 10 and 5.
Chesterfield.
So this could have easily been that 95-year-old woman, but instead it is a older glider male. Now, I made the video, super gremlins are hunting white women in New Orleans, and I got some pushback. I got some flack for that. But would it be safe to say that super gremlins were hunting everybody? So that statement is not even invalid. As a matter of fact, I might name this video, Super Gremlins Are Hunting White Men and their families, because this is what's going down right now. Would I be wrong in that assessment? No.
Township police said the man who killed Matthews and injured his family tried to kill himself, but was not successful. Mara McDonald live in Chesterfield tonight. Mara, you just spoke with Matthews' family.
I sure did, Devin. I spoke with his brother, Joe, who says tonight, if everybody could do just one thing, which would be pray for Jim's 2 small children. You can see behind me, police are still processing the condo, which is the crime scene here, and what those two children had to endure in here can only be described as a nightmare. Jim Matthews spent years on WWJ as their solid, dependable overnight news anchor. Matthews was his on-air name. His legal name was Jim Nikolai. And we spoke to his brother Joe this evening about his brother's pride in working at J Radio.
He was so excited when he got that. I was so happy for him when he got into WWJ. Since he was a little kid, he's wanted to be a DJ.
Colleagues describe him as an absolute professional. He lived here at this Chesterfield Township condo with the 35-year-old mother of their two children, a 10-year-old boy and 5-year-old girl. When police arrived on the scene, it was that 35-year-old and the daughter who had run into the parking lot looking for help.
A 35-year-old white female had escaped with her 5-year-old daughter. She was suffering from stab wounds at that time.
Wow. The 5-year-old was also injured. When police got inside, they found Nikolai had been killed, his 10-year-old son in a closet.
We also found a 10-year-old white male bound and suffering from blunt force trauma.
Sources say that little boy was beaten with a hammer and left for dead in that closet.
Wow. Beating a little boy with a hammer. And you know, a lot of hype and hoopla is coming out surrounding the Dahmer series, the Netflix original series about Jeffrey Dahmer. But I mean, I would make the argument that although this is very different, a lot of these super gremlins don't get the opportunity to become something like that because they're just not good at getting away with their crimes. Or if they are, they're really on a crash out mentality. They're not doing these things methodical. But if this guy would have deleted this whole family like he wanted to, then he could have been on the same type of wave.
They say he fought back against the man police say is responsible for it all, a 54-year-old friend of the family who tried to kill himself by taking an overdose after the attack.
54-year-old friend of the family. Man, this is bad because they let this super gremlin in. He's an OG, an older super gremlin, and this is how he repaid them. And I'm sure they did everything in their power to contribute their part to, maybe it wasn't financial reparations, but just being very nice and kind and courteous and catering to this OG brother who appears to not be able to have his life together even by the time he's in his early 50s.
Pray for his children. His children are the ones that need the prayers and support.
Back here live tonight, those two children, 10 and 5, and their mother are all being treated for their injuries at a local hospital. That little boy's injuries are critical at this point. As far as the motivation for all of this, Chesterfield Township Police at this point merely classifying it as a domestic issue. We're live in Chesterfield Township tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Just horrendous, Mara. Our thoughts with the family and of course, with our colleagues for BGZM as well.
Reform and bail reform and all these measures that cater to the criminals, every day they're putting the community at risk and other communities at risk because these people are not being held accountable for their actions. And then they're going out and doing things like this and we wonder why.
Found a 35-year-old woman and her 5-year-old daughter who escaped from this condo building. The woman had been stabbed and both were injured. Police then forced their way inside, where they found the 57-year-old father dead. An injured 10-year-old boy was bound and beaten in a closet, and in the basement, the alleged suspect, who was overdosing and had self-inflicted wounds.
It's terrible. I mean, he's the same age as my grandson, so, you know, it makes you think.
Soon after, WWJ Radio identified the man killed as their overnight anchor, Jim Matthews. He was the children's father and returned home after going off the air at 5 a.m. In a statement, the station said in part, "There have been many tears shed in our newsroom today, and Jim will be greatly missed. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Jim's family and friends during this difficult time."
He seemed like a reserved man, very quiet and kind of shy. And, but he seemed to really like his kids.
Neighbors say the suspect lived across the street and was often seen with the woman. Police also say he was at the home frequently. His exact relation is still unknown.
He was welcomed into the home initially. From that point, it's still too early to really go into what.
Wow, man. I mean, these dudes are so deceptive too. They can put on a front that they're a decent guy. Obviously, people are going to say he was struggling with mental health issues and all that kind of stuff to give him an out. But this dude is a monster. And there are way too many of these super gremlins on demon time walking around in our society.
The suspect and the 5-year-old girl are in stable condition, but the mother and 10-year-old boy are still critical as police continue to piece together this chaotic and horrific tragedy.
The Chesterfield Public Safety Department will not rest until we have received justice for our victims.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Quavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
Thank you so much for joining us at 11. I'm Amira David.
And I'm Mike Duffy. Tonight, support pouring in for a Macomb County family.
They were brutally attacked by a man at their Chesterfield Township home on Friday. WWJ radio anchor Jim Matthews found dead. His 2 children are among the victims.
Now, family members have started a GoFundMe page to help with their long road to recovery. 7 Action News reporter Sarah Grummer spoke with the kids' grandmother and has an update on their conditions.
There's been a lot of concern coming from the Metro Detroit community about these 2 kids. Is there anything that you can tell people about how they are?
My granddaughter and her mother, they're both in stable condition, thank the Lord. My grandson, he is still in ICU and in critical condition.
Days after WWJ anchor Jim Matthews was attacked and murdered inside of this family condo, the family grandmother, Sonia Healy, tells me that the mother and children, all horrifically assaulted, remain in the hospital.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video. So, guys, if y'all want to check out that video that was playing, it is actually titled "Woke Detroit News Anchor Jim Matthews Invites Mid-Age or Middle-Aged Felon Arthur Williamson to Sleepover Slaughter." One of my greatest hits, honestly. Premiered September 28, 2022. It almost got 1,000 views, you know, and it got shadow banned recently. But guys, I wanted to come on and just kind of talk politics and then kind of talk about the state of the U.S. and different cities that are ultimately going to be affected by this recent off-year election. But essentially, it was a big loss for Republicans across the nation, especially on the abortion issue. I believe Ohio instated in their constitution, in their state constitution, that abortion is a right to women and all that kind of stuff. And I don't want to delve deeply into the abortion issue, but we pretty much all understand that it's wrong. And I think that there are some points that conservatives can improve on when it comes to the issue, especially like setting a hard time limit, being open to that, and then also making exceptions, right, for rape and incest, obviously one of the big ones. I think we can find a healthy compromise on some of those issues. But other than that, you know, it's the same old, same old. So I just kind of want to run down what happened yesterday in these elections and how that's going to affect the states or your city, your state going forward.
All right. So if you've got a check now here in Kentucky because Andy Beshear wins this race called over Daniel Cameron. He really outperformed 2019. Back in 2019, you may remember he ran against Matt Bevin, only won by 5,000 votes.
All right. So this one in Kentucky was a big L. Daniel Cameron, he was actually endorsed by Trump and he still lost. And the Republicans even tried to get a little different and run a black man as governor. Obviously, it did not work. And he lost to the incumbent, which isn't that big of a deal. But obviously, Kentucky is a southern state. And the fact that the governor has won back-to-back elections pretty much tells you where Kentucky is going in the future. So let's keep going.
He outperformed in cold country. Beshear did, the incumbent Democrat, and Daniel Cameron underperformed where Bevin was in some of those places, in some of those counties that he was supposed to do better in.
All right. Sorry, it was very short clip. But I want to read this article. So we're going to get into it really quickly. All right, so Republican politicians, strategists, and pundits were left picking up the pieces Wednesday after GOP candidates largely came up short in critical contests across America, fueling infighting about the party's stance on abortion and its problem turning out voters in off-year elections. In 3 of Tuesday night's most closely watched states, the GOP lost control of the Virginia House of Delegates and failed to take the state Senate. I don't know why, but every time I start reading, I get like start yawning for some reason. While incumbent Kentucky Democratic Governor Andy Beshear defeated Trump endorsed Republican candidate Daniel Cameron. In Ohio, meanwhile, voters defined the wishes of Republicans, including Governor Mike DeWine, and enshrined the right to an abortion in the state constitution. All right. He ran a very strong race. He did a good job not tying himself to Biden. And he did a good job in rural areas, too, one GOP strategist told the Post of Beshear, noting that Kentucky voters opted for a ticket split by electing Republicans Russell Coleman and Michael Adams, Commonwealth Attorney General and Secretary of State, respectively. GOP candidates also were elected to the statewide posts of Agriculture Commission Auditor and Treasurer, which, you know, is probably a good thing, right? I also think that painting one specific state a year out, I guess they meant pointing, actually. Pointing one specific state a year out and saying that's what's determining how the general election is going to turn out. It's a tad of a stretch, in my opinion, the strategist added. So they're basically saying that this isn't a representation of how the general elections are going to pan out. It's just, state by state. Nevertheless, the finger pointing began just hours after the final races were called. Pro-lifers are going to wipe out the Republican Party, conservative author Ann Coulter posted Wednesday morning on X. In addition to losing Ohio Tuesday night, Governor Glenn Youngkin lost big in Virginia because of pro-life zealots. Okay, a 15-week abortion limit would have been fine with Virginia voters, but Republicans couldn't promise to stop there without risking a primary challenge from full ban pro-lifers. She added, my number one compromise position still stands. Make abortion illegal only for registered Republicans. Okay, very interesting. Youngkin had sold Virginia Republican candidates for the state legislature on a pledge to enact a 15-week abortion ban if they took control, with exceptions for grape and incest and the life of the mother, which I think are necessary exceptions. We learned that Governor Youngkin's refreshing brand of traditional conservatism without confrontation cannot be easily replicated in a purple state, veteran Republican consultant Alice Stewart told the Post. Despite his efforts to steer clear of MAGA movement with optimistic candidates who were on message, the emphasis on abortion limits clearly motivated Democrats to get out and vote. Youngkin told reporters on Wednesday he was disappointed in the results, but said he was not going anywhere, throwing cold water on some Republican operatives who had hoped he would make a late entry in the GOP's presidential race. However, far-right Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene disagreed with the Ann Coulter assessment, saying Democrats had lied about the abortion issue while blaming the Republican Party's leadership for being tone deaf and weak. And the abortion issue obviously is going to be a deal breaker for pretty much 90% of women. And we know that women overwhelmingly vote Democrat. So if you want to win the female vote, then you have to be pro-abortion, essentially. I mean, and it sucks to say, but that's the reality. And I think that issue really divides. So my stance, I mean, I'm not with the 15 weeks. That's a little too much for me. I say, bitch, you better know you pregnant within 6 weeks, and you got to do something within that time period. Otherwise, it's a wash. Even 6 weeks is, it's stretching it, but it's a compromise that I would be willing to make. Additionally, with the exception for incest, grape, and the life of the mother. But other than that, I really don't see how it makes sense. So that's just kind of a synopsis on what's going on. So I'm gonna tell you right now, man. And also, there was also a porn star that was almost elected, and this one is even more disappointing. So let's see. Let me see. I don't know where. Hold on, I had that story. Let's see. What was the girl? Let's see. Nude streamer. Let's see. I'm trying to find that story. Does anybody know the name of that lady who pretty much she was running for some type of office, and let's see. She was running for some type of office, and then she was almost elected. Let's see. Damn. I literally had that story. But there have been a ton of former nigga said Mia Khalifa. There have been a ton of former adult content creators who are trying to get into politics, which is honestly frightening. I mean, and the liberals, they're voting them in. They're definitely going out in droves. Let me see if I can find this one. It was on my Twitter. Man, I got so many likes on Twitter, though. It's going to be hard to find. But, oh, this one is kind of relevant. This one, this was a video of a doctor speaking on abortion. I think there was a little troll in on both sides going on. But this is an abortion doctor who pretty much is unapologetic about aborting children. As a matter of fact, he almost even glorifies it. And, you know, he has some type of, not even some type of, but he has an unwavering support for women who want to do abortions. Obviously, it funds his pockets as well. But let's keep going.
You got to repent, sir, for murdering babies.
Why?
Because it's a sin before God.
Why?
Wow.
Stinky breath.
Yeah,
Why?
that's pretty evil of you, sir.
Yeah, I am.
And I hope and pray that you.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you do to babies, huh?
Yeah, I love it.
You love it, huh?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I hope that you come to Christ, sir.
Oh, I never go to Christ.
I hope that you come to Christ.
No,
sir.
I don't go to Christ.
Yeah,
I don't listen to Christ.
You will have a darkened heart, sir.
I do have a darkened heart. Yeah.
You have a darkened heart.
I do very, very much
And
so.
you will stand before God in judgment day.
Yes, I will. Every day.
You will stand before God in judgment
Yes,
day.
I will. Every day.
All of the babies that
I
you
love
have
it.
killed.
I love it.
Yeah, keep tearing the babies
Yeah,
apart.
I will.
Keep tearing the babies
I
apart.
will.
Keep tearing the babies apart. Yes, sir. The babies, their blood streams from the ground.
Yeah, so that was definitely a wild clip. And then there's another clip going around that's pretty much saying, okay, every sex ed class should require this, or what did they say? Republicans should pass laws requiring this video in sex ed class. Yeah. So this is pretty much the process of an abortion. I don't know what how many weeks this is. They might say it in the video, but I definitely think that there should be a visual component to, you know, these abortions, and women should. I'm not saying they need to have the damn ultrasound, you know, right next to them while they're getting it done, but they definitely should know what it looks like. And I think there should be some guilt, some shame associated with the process if it is if the purpose is not literally for grape incest or any of those other the threatening the mother's life. So we'll watch this one too.
Once the cervix has been stretched open, the suction tube is placed inside. The suction machine is turned on, and pale yellow amniotic fluid surrounding the baby is suctioned out through the catheters. The baby's bones and skull are too strong to be torn apart by suction alone. This is a sofa clamp. When it gets a hold of something, it does not let go. The abortionist uses this clamp to grasp an arm or leg. Once he has a firm grip, the abortionist pulls hard in order to tear the limb from the baby's body. One by one, the rest of the limbs are removed, along with the intestines, the spine, and the heart and lungs.
Damn.
Usually the most difficult part of the procedure is extracting the baby's head, which is about the size of a large plum at 20 weeks.
Damn.
The head is grasped.
So this is 20 weeks. They're saying 16 weeks. I mean, does the baby look a little different from this between 20 and 16 weeks? Probably not much. 16. So if the baby was like that at 20 weeks, man, hell nah. But this is wild.
Grasped and crushed.
God.
The abortionist knows he has crushed the skull when a white substance comes out of the cervix. This was the baby's brains. The abortionist then removes skull pieces. He removes the placenta and any leftover parts of the baby with a curette, scraping the lining of the uterus for any remaining tissue. Once all the parts have been accounted for, the abortion is complete.
Damn. So, I mean, that's pretty deep. And yeah, I think women should definitely know that's at 20 weeks. So women should be well aware of what they're doing, not only to feel bad about it, but, you know, to really understand that when they talk this clump of cells bullshit, it's exactly that bullshit. So anyways, yeah, Susanna Gibson, this was a big L in my opinion, even though she lost the race. This is a big L in for Republicans, because you have this woman who almost won as a member of House of Delegates for the 57th district. Let's see, what's the 57th district? Yeah, so that's Virginia. And she almost won. That is not good, because it's just like, bro, how the fuck did she get so close? She only lost by, roughly about 200 votes, which is not good. This is what she looks like. And she live streamed intercourse videos. I mean, she's older woman. She's got a decent face, but she don't look good in this, honestly. The picture where she's doing a naked shit. But yeah, she almost won, and it's sad to say, but you're gonna start seeing this more and more often, especially with these women who have big followings. If they want to get involved in politics, they're just going to tell their OnlyFans simps to support them, and they will. Don't get it fucked up. These male simps will support these OnlyFans hoes who, have an inkling to run for political office. So Republican David Owen defeated Democrat Susanna Gibson in a Virginia House of Delegates race that drew attention after revelations that Gibson engaged in sex acts with her husband on a pornographic website. Gibson ran against Owen in one of the state's most competitive districts after all 100 seats in the House of Delegates were redrawn to conform with the 2020 census. Many political scientists said Gibson's stances in Tuesday's election were doomed after news outlets reported in September about Gibson's participation in live stream sex, which included soliciting payments from viewers in exchange for specific acts. But Gibson, a nurse practitioner, refused to withdraw from the race and accused Republicans of dirty politics for exposing her content. Not understanding the irony that what she was actually doing was the dirty, I wouldn't say politics, but dirty fucking. She largely ignored the allegations and, like other Democrats statewide, focused on abortion rights. Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin has been seeking a ban on abortion after 15 weeks of pregnancy, with the exception in case of rape, incest, or when the mother's life is in danger. And I mean, even though that's not what I would want it outlawed completely, but 15 weeks, I can rock with it for sure with those exceptions. Even though we just saw what 20 weeks, honestly, you know what? I can't rock with 15 weeks. I'm still rocking with the 6-week thing. I think Ron DeSantis put in the 6-week thing. I can rock with that, even though I don't really support it. But I know you have to make some concessions somewhere. I like the Roe v. Wade Supreme Court decision, leaving it up to the states. And then I think that, Republicans should work to state by state, maybe implement this 6-week thing, or in some states just outlaw it completely. But anyone that that is going to be close and it's going to be based off of that issue, I think there can be concessions made just to win the race. That's how I genuinely believe. The race had been pegged as one of several that could determine control in the House of Delegates. But even with Owen's win, Republicans lost control of the House of Delegates. Democrats also maintained their narrow margin in the state Senate. Those legislative victories will allow Democrats to block Youngkin's policy agenda, though they will have to work with him to advance their own. Owen issued a statement on X, the platform previously known as Twitter, thanking voters. Excuse me. She says, "I will begin work immediately to provide the unity, common sense leadership, and responsive service that I promise," he said. Gibson's campaign has not issued any statement since the polls closed. Her campaign manager said late Tuesday night that the campaign expected to issue a statement at some point Wednesday. All right. So, we pretty much covered a lot of the election madness. And I think Republicans took a big L overall. But now we are going to go to these liberal cities and really see what's going on and how they're holding up. We're going to get into what we usually do in covering these news stories. So let's get after it.
Less than a week before a state hearing on juvenile.
Also, guys, I know somebody asked about what is it? Super chatting. Guys, I'm officially demonetized on this channel, so make sure you hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal, hit the GoFundMe, or hit the Patreon. Show love in those ways, but there is no super chat. YouTube got me pegged, so there's no way I can really monetize this channel. So, support if you will. I'll read your Cash Apps or your PayPals on stream. Let's keep going.
Juvenile crime. Fox 45 News has obtained some video of another brazen attack involving young people.
Take a look at this clip. This is from Butcher's Hill in the city, appearing to show two juveniles, the youngest apparently 12 years old, running up to a woman and shoving her to the ground before robbing her and running off with her car keys.
The victim telling Fox 45 News she feared for her life in those scary, intense moments.
It's just scary. It's just scary because, the whole time it's happening, no one's really there to help you.
Well, the assault happened on a well-lit street just steps from Patterson Park.
Fox 45's Keith Daniels has the victim's chilling testimony and an update on the suspects in the story you're seeing first on Fox. And Keith, citizens are fed up with this.
Fed up, absolutely, Nakai and Mary. Police say it happened after the woman had parked her car on the street and was walking home. She told us she only had to walk about 2 blocks, but before she could get home, the attack. Julie is only using her first name, protecting her identity. But she's talking openly about those frightening moments that happened so close to home.
He tackled me and then punched me in the head and I got kicked. I was afraid I was going to get shot because you just don't know,
Look, the alarming incident caught on home security cameras. The woman assaulted and robbed on East Lombard Street near Patterson Park Avenue.
Damn. So as you can see, this duo ran up on this woman and they ran her pockets for sure. Okay. And, it looks like they got up on her, you know what I'm saying? As they would say in the community. Shout out to Silent Creek with the $5 Cash App. I appreciate your donation.
Oh, shit,
he says sending my support. So you already know, if you support me, I support you, brother. So shout out to bro for that. But yeah, I mean, these super gremlins, they are moving in packs. They're jumping on you quick. They're not holding back. And it's just, it's scary for sure. It really is, because you don't want to get caught in this scenario where you're caught lacking, for one, you're a woman, for two, and the super gremlins are getting one up on you. You know what I'm saying? Because they will definitely take your shit. As you guys can see over and over again, I do stories on this, and she's lucky to be alive. Like I always say, she is lucky to be alive, okay? Because that's the real dilemma here. These super gremlins will take your life, man. And I think a lot of these liberals don't understand that until it's too late. And, over here, we're definitely the I told you so group, okay? As I've admitted multiple times on the stream, I am indeed an I told you so ass ninja. So we're going to continue to say I told you so, but also we do have a little empathy just because, it's God body over here. Most of my guys over here, we have a Judeo-Christian foundation. So obviously, we like to also have that balance, right? But at the same time, you have to correct the bad behavior. You have to correct the mistakes and the ill, or not even the ill intent, but you have good intentions that are ending up in situations where you're being taken advantage of. And that's not good for anybody. So we definitely need to do something about this. We as conservatives need to continue to say, I told you so, until, you know, until they're tired of hearing us. All right. Because if we don't kind of rub it in their faces, not saying, haha, you got robbed, haha, you got shot, but just to say, look, man, you voted for this. And now it's being proven that these super gremlins are on demon time. Shout out to, let's see. Somebody just hit me with the PayPal. Shout out to my guy, JT. He says, don't end the life that God has created, them gods cheering. And I do agree. So shout out to JT for that.
Oh, say that.
Yeah, man. I definitely agree with that. Unfortunately, we have come to a time period where certain things are just the issue on abortion. It's just so polarizing, especially for women, that conservatives are going to have to concede somewhat, because women are 50% of the voter block, and they really are not moving off of their square when it comes to this abortion thing, because they want the deregulated sexual marketplace so that they can fuck around with no consequences. That's really what it comes down to. It ain't about, oh, I ain't got enough money to support this, or oh, well, you know, no, bro. It's just like, damn, I'm not done being in the streets, so let me get this thing, you know, crushed out of my cervix and, you know, move on about my day, which is pretty crazy. But these are the times we're living in. These are the modern women that we have been given.
At about 9:30 Wednesday night, images of two males. Police say the suspects, 12 and 14 years old.
Woo! 12 and 14 years old. Now that is wild. You got 12 and 14-year-old boys going and hitting licks. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. And this is not anything that is new. This is not anything that's new. This has been set as a precedent of being the norm, right? It really has.
Seen here, dressed in black pants and hoodies. Police say they took the keys to the woman's car.
I wasn't just screaming for help as loud as I could, hoping somebody would come out.
Somebody did come out. This man, Arch McCowan, seen on the video, rushing to his neighbor, then running toward the suspects. He spotted the boys at Julie's car, parked on Patterson.
I was just trying to keep an eye on which way they were going, and you know, telling the officer on the phone.
But the suspects did not steal the car. The boys, unable to drive a stick shift. They ducked in the park with McCowan keeping watch and police in hot pursuit.
So it looks like they tried to steal a car. What we used to call Grand Theft Auto, now it's just a simple carjacking charge, and they're on their way. Woo! I mean, it's getting ridiculous out here.
Cars came up behind me, and I basically just hopped out on the road and said, you know, that way, go.
Police caught the boys, arrested them, took them to the Baltimore City Juvenile Justice Center, where, according to Julie, after getting a call from a DJS supervisor, the juveniles were released within 2 hours.
Damn, they were released in 2 hours. No consequences. This is how every single Democrat city is run throughout the country. It really is, okay? And you know, it's a disgrace. It's sad. It shouldn't be happening. but this is what they have voted for. It really is, right? And they pretty much begged for this. Unfortunately, this is now the reality. And we as citizens are having to deal with the ramifications, which isn't fair. But because a lot of these women and men, but specifically the women, are one issue voters, they're voting Democrat and not even understanding that, hey, a vote for abortion is also a vote for murdering grown folks too. You know what I'm saying? Because it starts off with the carjacking, it starts off with robbing people at gunpoint, and then it ends up being, you know, these super gremlins start getting hungry for catching bodies. You know, the trigger fingers start itching, and next thing you know, you on Fox 5.
Law. I'm pissed off at the law. This should never. And what if this could have ended really badly? If I hadn't seen them behind me and turned, I could have hit my head. They had a screwdriver. They could have stabbed me if they really wanted to. You know, that's not okay.
I think it's outrageously inappropriate.
Both Julie and her neighbor frustrated over Maryland's new laws related to juveniles that make prosecution difficult.
100% I'm frustrated by the lawmaker.
And these are new laws, guys. These are new laws that make it difficult to prosecute. These are new laws. This ain't no old No, these are new laws, y'all. So what you have to understand is this is going to be a long process. This is going to be a long process, and it ain't getting no better. It really isn't, especially when you have the parents who are, I mean, some of the stuff that I've been seeing online with these parents, it's bad. And these are young kids who are doing this, 13, 14, 15. The parents are out of control. I'll just give you an example after this video, because people are like, oh, no, bro, we the best parents, and we doing this and we doing it. Look, man, I'm not trying to have no debate about who's the best parents via demographic, but the results show, and you have to look at the results. Our kids are fucking lost, and denying it is not going to solve the problem, especially when you have parents who are raising these kids and ain't got no business doing so.
Yeah, because I think that, you know, it was well-intentioned when they looked at it, but I think they were naive.
Well, Julie says she's recovering from a minor head injury. Her head was pushed to the ground. As for the suspects, no official word from DJS tonight because the suspects are juveniles. But again, the victim says she was told they were released to their parents. Keith Daniels, Fox 45 News.
So they were released to their parents. And what are the parents teaching their children? Well, I'll show you a quick example of what these parents are teaching their kids.
Come on, little baby. He federal as fuck. Ooh, yeah, big ass. Big ass. Yeah.
So this was a clip that actually went viral maybe a year or two ago. But it pretty much is a representation of what is going on in a lot of these households. Not all, but the households where these kids come out jacking cars and robbing people and stuff like that. It starts at an early age, okay? And as you can see, this Dyken single mother is essentially exposing her children to not only secondhand smoke, but firsthand smoke as she passes a blunt of what I perceive to be marijuana. And if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't only marijuana, it was a boonk blunt, okay? And if you guys don't remember what a boonk blunt is, it's pretty much a blunt laced with cocaine. So you have these children who are, you know, being exposed to drug use at a very young age, way before their brains, their little itty bitty brains, are able to develop. So the thought process, the way they process emotions are all off, all out of whack. And, you know, and then the demeanor and the way that these single mothers are moving in general just set a bad representation and bad example. A lot of these women are just not good examples for their children. And then they don't really stand on any principles that lead to a disciplined lifestyle. So a lot of the youth, they are being led astray. And it's super sad, but this is the time that we are living in. All of these democratic cities are experiencing the same things. And like they said earlier, that law, that new law that has been passed, that makes it hard to prosecute these minors. This is going to, I always predict it's a 20-year, 2-decade process where we're going to continue to see this high crime rate and increases in crime rate every year. With these new laws, I would even go as far as say it's going to be a 50-year process, because they're still passing new laws to make it easier for criminals to get away with these things. So, buckle up, get strapped. Now more than ever, we need to stand on 2A, because it's going to get worse from here.
Tonight, the mother of a 14-year-old assault suspect opens up about her son's trouble with the law.
She says last week's assault in Butchers Hill has her frustrated with her son's actions and the criminal justice system.
And he's 14. He knows better from right from wrong. I can't sit there and hold his hand down out there when he is out there on the streets. What am I supposed to do?
She is the latest parent Fox 45 News has heard from, who says their child and their children don't respond to authority. They say they can't hold their children accountable for their actions if the legal system isn't behind them.
And we've also heard from police and prosecutors who say Maryland's juvenile justice laws are major roadblocks in their jobs. Tonight, our team of reporters is giving a voice to those frustrated with how crime is handled in Baltimore.
Let's begin with Keith Daniels and that mother's call for help trying to keep her son away from violence. Keith.
Well, Mary and Kai, the mother says her son has been spiraling out of control since her husband, the boy's stepfather, was murdered 2 years ago.
So the boy's stepfather was murdered, and that wasn't even his biological father, but even the murder of his stepfather has caused significant behavioral problems in this young man. Now, we all know that, these single mothers cannot raise young boys, but in her case, she is a widow and she tried to give the man a father figure. Now, my question is, how was this man murdered? Was he participating in the op culture? Was he, participating in the toxic hip hop culture? Was he, sliding on ops? Was he airing blocks out himself? How deep was he in the streets for him to be murdered? And he could have been, a good guy. He could have been a good brother. He could have been a Malcolm, a mildly attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable man. He could have been a Malcolm. But I don't know. So I'm assuming the odds are that he potentially was a street ninja. Now, could this young man just be lashing out in the ways that he saw his stepfather behave? Possibly.
And tonight, her fight and plea to help save her son. She's a mother who says she cannot control her 14-year-old son.
So this is a grown woman who can't control her 14-year-old son. And this is a telltale for all single mothers out here. But like I said, she is a widow, so we are extending her some grace. But this is definitely something that women don't want to talk about. This is definitely something that women don't want to acknowledge, that they are not able. They're not able to raise these young men. He's 14-year-olds. You ask me, hey, could you handle a 14-year-old boy? Ask me that. And I'm like, yeah, simple, easy as that. right? Even if he is thug maxed, I still can handle a 14-year-old boy. Paused. But these women, they can't say the same. It's virtually impossible, physically impossible. And they can't discipline these young men. So these young men tend to lean towards streets.
A boy that simply does not listen to her. Impossible to discipline. She's talking under the cloak of anonymity to protect their identity, but she speaks openly about the panic she feels each time her son leaves home.
I worry. I wonder, we're not going to get that next phone call. What's going to happen next?
She got a phone call last week about this. Take a look. A woman in the Butchers Hill neighborhood in southeast Baltimore assaulted and robbed. Her car keys stolen as she walked down East Lombard Street near Patterson Park Avenue. The alarming incident caught on home security cameras. Police say the suspects, 12 and 14 years old. The mother told by investigators the 14-year-old is her son.
I've talked to him, but I'm not getting information, not getting adequate information. He's not opening up to me.
Police say the boys tried stealing the woman's car, but was unable to drive a stick shift. Police caught the boys, took them to the Baltimore Juvenile Justice Center, where DJS supervisors released the suspects within 2 hours without any charges filed, frustrating the victim.
The law. I'm pissed off at the law. This should never. And what if this could have ended really badly? If I had.
So she's pissed off at the law that she most likely voted in the legislators, the city council, the mayor, to enact. Shout out to Caesar D in the comments section. He says, I was a teen back in the 80s. Back then, if you did a crime, you did some time, no matter what. The $2 Cash App. I appreciate that. If the message was longer, for some reason, PayPal won't let me see the full message, but you already know what it is. Caesar D is telling us, hey, when he was outside, if you did the crime, you did the time.
Hold on. Yeah. Hello? Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We outside!
Yeah, and so here's another tip. If you are in one of these Democrat-ran cities, you need to, if you have an automatic vehicle, you need to trade it in, get you a manual, get you a stick shift, and you need to rock it that way. As a matter of fact, I forgot exactly where I was. Oh, I was at the Dollar Tree the other day, and some woman, she was like, I don't know, she was basically like, hey, you got a nice car. You want to switch cars? Can you drive a stick? I told her, yes, I could drive a stick. And she basically was like, oh, well, let's swap cars, something like that. I mean, it has nothing to do with this story, but it was just something recently in my life about a stick shift. Pause.
I had seen them behind me and turn. I could have hit my head. They had a screwdriver. They could have stabbed me if they really wanted to. That's not okay.
Meanwhile, according to documents obtained by Fox 45 News, the 14-year-old boy named in that case has had prior contacts with the juvenile justice system, with 3 recent cases pending charges for motor vehicle thefts in July, September, and October this year.
I had no awareness that he was doing all these types of activities.
You wasn't aware?
So she's saying she had no awareness. I mean, that's wild. So what is it? Like, are you guys the best mothers? Do y'all know y'all kids like that? Or you have no recollection or awareness that the man is out here robbing people with screwdrivers?
I was not, and then when I did find out he was and doing all these activities, that's when I started making phone calls and trying to get the help that he need. I mean, something's got to give, because like I said, the way he going, he not going to be here. The way he keep going, he needs more discipline, more structure.
Well, we've learned the boy's assault and robbery case has now been referred to City State's Attorney Ivan Bates. His office released a statement tonight that reads in part, "We look forward to ensuring that the youth are held accountable for their offenses and that they receive the services they so desperately need." We're live tonight. Keith Daniels, Fox 45 News.
I'm Maxine Stryker. Thanks for watching. Here's another video.
So this is, I mean, that's Baltimore right there. I mean, it's wild. And so now let's move toward Gwinnett County in Atlanta. We're still talking about single mothers and their badass kids as we move on to the next Democratic city. It's pretty much going down.
New at 5, a Gwinnett County mother is facing criminal charges for overreacting inside a Walmart store. Another mother told the woman her children were being too loud, and police say she went on the attack. Channel 2 Gwinnett County Bureau Chief Matt Johnson is live in Duluth, where a child was hurt in this confrontation. Matt, this is surprising.
Yeah, you know, a box of crayons like this, harmless enough until it's being thrown by an adult at a young child just standing there. That's one of the ways Duluth police say this mother overreacted after being told her kids were being too loud.
So she was told her kids were being too loud, and she lashes out and attacks another shopper.
Inside the Walmart in Duluth shows a tense confrontation that police say started with a woman complaining about loud children.
So as you can see,
a mother in black pick up a large plastic box of crayons and hurl it at the mom in orange, but the box hit her young son in the shoulder.
So she's arguing with another black woman. So this woman throws a box of crayons and hits the woman's son, who we're assuming was behaved better than the woman in black's kids,
and made him cry. When his mother reacts and calls for help, the woman in black backs up while her own two kids are in the shopping cart. But then she lunges toward the other mom and hits her in the face.
So I will give the mother in the orange some kudos. She held her temperament. She refrained from engaging, and she immediately went and called for help. So, you know, shout out to her for just having the poise to, you know, attempt to diffuse this baby mama terrorist here.
It all started when Duluth police say the mother in orange told the woman in black that her kids were being too loud.
I just avoided because,
which is a healthy criticism. Hey man, your kids being too loud, you know, I can help you out with some child care, some child rearing, put that belt today behind. She was just trying to help her out, woman to woman. See, even women are noticing, hey man, your kids are bad as shit. Your kids are bad behaved.
people are crazy these days.
Shoppers we talked to at the Walmart where it happened on Pleasant Hill Road say confronting parents about their kids can be dangerous.
It depends on how unruly and if they were hurting anybody.
In this case, police say the mother in black, identified as Brittany George, overreacted to a complaint about her kids and ended up in jail. She faces felony child cruelty charges for hitting the boy with the crayon box and simple assault for hitting his mom.
I wouldn't want to attack a child, give him PTSD or add to his trauma.
George drove away before police got there October 26th, but they arrested her Friday after identifying her. They went by George's house to get her side of the story, but she declined. Shoppers we spoke to say this is a reminder you never know how someone may react.
Times have changed. People are different. Parents are different.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, these hoes, even though she probably didn't want to speak to the news, they damn sure take pride in, hell, I'll do anything for my kids. I'll crash out for my kids. Like, I mean, you'll do anything but discipline them. You'll do anything but be a good parent to them. They'll do anything and, you know, fight for their kids and beat somebody up and shoot somebody, but they won't get their behavior in line. And I think that is one of the biggest issues in the community. And as you can see, very embarrassing to have an elderly white woman comment on this story. As a community as a whole, you know, if you are black, you understand the phrase, you know, stop acting up in front of these white folks. It's something that you're told as a young person. It really is. However, that is not being passed down anymore, apparently, because you have these single mothers who have lost ability to rein in their children. So now the whole world is seeing how detrimental the community is being toward society in general. And so there needs to be a quick and swift change in the behavior or the laws in which people are punished, because there needs to be some teeth behind, correcting these bad behaviors.
Now, police identified that suspect by using the cameras out here and finding her driver tag. The boy and his mother, who were attacked, were shaken up but didn't have any major injuries. Live in Gwinnett County, Matt Johnson, Channel 2 Action News.
So, more news out of Atlanta. A couple celebrating their 11th anniversary was carjacked, and then that vehicle was used in another robbery.
Atlanta couple says their car was stolen from a valet parking lot at a high-end hotel. And to make matters worse, they say thieves are using their car to commit crime.
Okay, so a high-end parking lot at a high-end hotel in valet parking. How many times do I have to pin it in you guys' head? These super gremlin valet workers are setting you the fuck up. Period. No denying it. No question about it. There are, unfortunately, and I wouldn't even be surprised if it was a whole carjacking ring. There are black male valet workers and black female valet workers who are taking the car. Oh, yeah, all's good. And handing your keys straight to the super gremlins. This is why I never do valet. Because I've been known that this is happening. I mean, hell, ever since I was graduating high school, this was happening and it wasn't as often, right? Now it's become the norm. But even back in 2013, I was actually debating if I would go to Georgia State or if I would go to the University of Georgia. And I ended up deciding to go to the University of Georgia, not only because it's a better school, but because it's safer school, right? I didn't want to be in downtown Atlanta with all them niggas and, niggas trying to shoot you, niggas trying to rob you. You can't freely make friends down there because these people, they'll put on a face and then they'll rob you blind. When I was at the University of Georgia, hell, man, I could make friends with anybody and I wouldn't have any type of fear or any type of, I don't fear anybody, but y'all know what I'm saying. I wouldn't be worried about, oh, is this person, gonna try and hit a lick on me, gonna try and take advantage of me? No, like we're all college kids. We're having our college experience. And, it was a really good experience for me. And I'm really glad that I ended up not going to Georgia State or even Georgia Tech, which I got accepted to as well. I decided not to go to either of those universities because they were located in downtown Atlanta, which I did not want to be involved with in the slightest.
Investigative reporter Ashley Lincoln is live in Buckhead tonight. And Ashley, you found out how the thieves were able to get away.
Linda, what a headache for this couple. They told us the thieves were able to get into that lot because the gate was broken. And they tell me that
the gate was broken. So what is the point of valet if the gate's broken? Makes no sense.
Not discovered missing until 5 hours after the fact.
Then I come to Buckhead and pay for valet. It kind of make you feel some type of way, man.
And Dia Tucker.
Who did you pay? See, this is what, and here's the issue with a lot of black people. We are not willing to follow through with the consequences, even if something is happening to us, unless your homeboy get killed or something like that, or your family member gets killed. Then that's when they start calling for justice. They want somebody arrested. But in shit like this, a lot of times you'll see, oh man, I just hope that they were what they were looking for, and I hope they're able to get off the streets one day. That is usually the response from the community. I don't know what his response is going to be. I'd be a little bit more upset And by a little bit more, I mean a lot more upset. But anyways,
says what he's feeling is anger after paying for valet and getting his car stolen. He says thieves drove off with his car from the valet lot at the Thompson Hotel last week.
I give you my keys and say, all right, so you got me for the night. And I'm not telling you to fight anybody. I'm just saying, hey, have an eye out for my car. If I'm giving you money to watch my car.
so here's the thing, though. They are just watching the car. They're setting you up. This is what I don't know why he can't just put two and two together. The nigga set you up, bro. You got set up. Okay? You got a lick hit on you. They got the best of you. And even these old head ninjas, they're not street smart enough to understand the new wave of killers, the new wave of super grimmers, the new wave of robbers, the new wave of scammers. They don't understand it, because there was, even though they say, right, there's no honor amongst thieves, but back in the day, the black community of back in the day would like to have you believe that, oh man, we did shit different and there was honor amongst us, and if we was trapping, we was gonna sell the drugs to this, that, and the third, and we was gonna do this and we was gonna do that. Meanwhile, it was pretty much the same thing happening back then that is happening now, especially in the 70s and 80s, late 70s, early 80s, and even the 90s, man. It's pretty much the same shit that's happening. But they would like you to believe that they was some better street niggas than the new niggas. And I guess they were, as far as like, you know, money wise, maybe. But it just depends on how you're measuring that, who's the better street nigga. I mean, there's debates on, you know, which generation was more hood, more street, which is absolutely asinine. But these are the types of conversations we have in the community. And I'm telling you right now, the old ninjas think that the old way of doing shit is still how it should be done, how it's supposed to be done, and how it will be done, and that's just not the case in practice.
Tucker says he and his wife spent the weekend at the hotel to celebrate their 11th wedding anniversary. Upon checking out, the Tuckers say they waited for hours for their car.
They continue to come and ask us for, you know, the color of the vehicle. What time did you check in? Did you leave back out? And so that was starting to kind of alarm us that something had gone wrong.
Dia Tucker says hotel management finally realized the car had been stolen. He says two men were able to get into the garage through a broken gate.
It's not a cheap hotel.
Diaz says he was able to watch surveillance video of the theft and saw
it was all in a matter of about 6 to 7 minutes. I saw a car go inside and I guess go up to the top and come back down and wrap around and pull right next to my car.
But the Tuckers say the hotel won't release that surveillance video.
He told me that he could not release the footage to me directly, that my insurance provider would need to reach out to his insurance provider.
Damn.
I sent multiple emails to the hotel. An employee told me over the phone someone would reach out. We're still waiting. While we wait, Diaz says Atlanta police told him they've gotten multiple reports that his car is being used by thieves to commit other crimes. His Dodge Charger is bright blue with his company's name, Crown Cuts, written in white on the back.
I'm highly disappointed with the actions of the hotel.
And the Tuckers say the hotel is blaming the owner of the parking garage. We've also reached out to that company. We did confirm with Atlanta police that a report was written in this case. Again, be on the lookout for a blue Dodge Charger with the words Crown Cut written on the back window. Reporting live tonight in Buckhead, Ashley Lincoln, Channel 2 Action News.
Ashley, that's got to be so frustrating. I hope they get the car and their keys back and that the companies take care of them. Thank you.
So yeah, it's pretty obvious that they were set up. I don't know how they're not seeing that, but the valet drivers in Atlanta, they're no fucking good. I'm telling you right now, if you use valet in Atlanta, from here on out, your car is going to get stolen. Facts. I don't know what else to tell you. So let's see. We got another shooting in Atlanta. Happened 3 weeks ago. 34-year-old was shot on Cleveland Ave. If you guys don't know where Cleveland Ave is, it's essentially where Young Thug claims to have grown up rather. But yeah, guys, now you know using valet in Atlanta is a no-go. They will rob you. And, you know, if you catch them, they will kill you. So let's see what else is going on in Atlanta. Let's see. And guys, in the meantime, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Get your chats in. Hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App. Oh yeah, wow. So I was just talking about Georgia State, and here you have it. It's everything that I was talking about just now. Everything that I was talking about. I just told you how dangerous Georgia State campus is. And now I got a story of a young woman who was pretty much killed on Georgia State's campus. Her name is Deja Hart, a Black woman. You know, and we continue to scream, protect Black women and all this kind of stuff. But in reality, niggas don't really care about that shit. And I'm not trying to be insensitive. That's just the facts. Otherwise, there would be, you know, even Black women don't even, I mean, I'm not going to say they don't care about it, but they can't put it together. They can't put two and two together. How you protect Black women is by locking these super gremlins the fuck up. But Black women will end up being the main advocates of, oh, you know, free my nigga. I mean, they get caught up in that shit just as much as Black men do. And they're only contributing to their own demise, unfortunately. So let's get into this story. Let's get it.
Near the Georgia State University campus has died. 19-year-old Deja Hart was taken to the hospital in critical condition after the shooting October 29th. Hart, who leaves behind a 1-year-old daughter, was not one of the 2 Georgia State students who was injured. The other 3 people who...
Damn, so I mean, she's pretty attractive. Leaving behind a daughter. Most likely, well, obviously a single mother. She had a 2-year-old daughter. That means she had the kid at 17. So obviously, you know, wasn't making the best choices. Could she have been out on the town with a thug maxed alpha simp? Possibly. But it just looks like in this case, she was a bystander. And it's sad, man. It's wrong. Shout out to my guy, Tariq. TKS, he says, keep it up, bro, with the $5 Cash App.
Oh, say less.
Appreciate that, man. But yeah, you have this young Black woman, single mom, taken out in the streets of Atlanta. And I mean, hell, I didn't hear about it. I had to go look for this shit. So does the Black community really care? Not really, bro. Not really.
State students who was injured. The other 3 people who were shot had non-life-threatening injuries.
So if you saw that video, it was a very short video, but the way those super gremlins were running in the streets, I really want to give you guys perspective of how reckless and just careless these super gremlins are moving around with these firearms. If I can get the video. All right, here we go. I mean, these niggas, they don't care who they're hitting. They're not even aiming. They just want to be known to say that they bust their gun. They want to be able to say, yes, I shot my gun. You know, and it's fucked up, but this is the culture that we've created, you know, and it does get exhausting just going over this over and over and over again. But I mean, it's also interesting, as you guys, everybody loves true crime, But this shit is hitting too close to home, and it's happening too frequently. So let's see what happened.
2 students hospitalized. The shooters have yet to be caught. Police say they hope a break in the case will lead to an arrest. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Russ Spencer.
And I'm Courtney Brandt.
New surveillance footage shows the 3 people Atlanta police say are responsible for shooting 4 people, including 2 students near Georgia State. Now police say they need your help identifying them.
Fox 5's Eric Mock joins us live from where that shooting happened in downtown Atlanta. And Eric, this shooting understandably has students worried.
Yeah, you really can't blame them. I mean, the shooting happened right here early Sunday, and behind this building and right across the street, you've got GSU student housing. And so a lot of students frequent this area. Students I talked to Thursday who live at Piedmont Central Student Housing say Sunday's shooting right outside their dorm woke them up.
I was actually in my room when it happened, and it woke me up. So it was a little scary at first, and when I got the call later confirming that it happened, it really made me nervous the next couple days to walk to and from class.
That's Kylie Carpenter, a freshman at GSU. She says she hasn't really been able to relax since the shooting.
I really hope
Atlanta police announced a interest. This video shows one man in a purple hoodie getting rid of the sweatshirt and what appears to be an AR-15 style rifle before fleeing the scene. More footage shows 2 men dressed in black who police say fired back at the man in the purple hoodie, which led to the 4 bystanders, including 2 GSU students, getting shot.
We have 4 individuals shot that had nothing to do with this incident.
Police say they need the public's help to identify these 3 who recklessly opened fire in a crowded area.
It's urgent for us to identify them and get them off the streets.
Carpenter is happy police are at least on the trail of some suspects, but she says a lot more needs to be done in this area to make her and other students feel safe again.
It seems to keep happening no matter what evidence we have or the people we catch. So it's still a little nerve-wracking, but I'm glad we're making some headway.
And do y'all think that they're just like clueless as to who's doing this? No, there's no way they aren't. There's no way they aren't. And this is not going to end well for the black people in Atlanta if we don't get a hold on this. I believe that Buckhead should secede. I wish that that movement would have been pushed so that you could have at least one outlet, one beacon of hope to show. We just need one good example. Okay. We need one example to say, this is how you run a city. This is how you succeed. This is how you tackle crime. We just need one, bro.
And police said 3 of the victims are doing well, recovering well, including the 2 GSU students. But one of the victims is still in critical condition in the hospital. If you have any information about these 3 persons of interest, you're asked to call the Atlanta Police Department. Reporting live in downtown Atlanta, Eric Mock, Fox 5 News.
All right, Eric, thanks very much.
So as you can see, it is not looking good in the A. And let's just learn a little bit more about Miss Deja Hart, who was killed in this shooting. Very pretty girl, 19 years old, already had a kid. And it's just not fair, man. It is not fair. Let me share the screen real quick. Let's see. So this is her. Obviously, we saw some pictures earlier. Her with her family at the baby shower, I believe. So, I mean, it's wild, y'all. And this was somebody else's baby shower, actually. But this has become the norm in the community. Let's see. Let's listen to what the police are saying about this one.
Zone 5 Patrol received a call for several persons shot at this location. Upon arrival, they were notified by local area hospitals that 4 gunshot victims arrived and were being treated. From the very beginning, Georgia State Police and Atlanta Police Department have been working collaboratively to identify the suspects involved in this case. From what we understand as of now, that this was an incident where an argument occurred and suspects and persons of interest identified escalated that dispute to a shooting incident where 4 victims who did not have any involvement were shot.
So there you have it. Just wrong place, wrong time. Too many niggas. A nigga moment happens. I mean, it's pretty much the same shit over and over again. It's wild though, bruh. And then, you know, the people online, they'll continue to deny this, man. They're gonna continue to deny it. So let's see what else we have here. Okay, this one's wild. We're going to Florida, guys. We are going to Florida. We're going to Tampa, actually. So buckle up. This one is wild.
Developing now at noon, deputies in Hernando County have arrested 4 people in an alleged murder for hire plot in connection to the shooting death of a 17-year-old girl back in February. Isabella Scavelli was a junior at Hernando High School. A relative was also injured by gunfire. And today, 4 suspects face state and federal charges. 3 could be imprisoned for life. For the latest, we're joined by Fox 13's Josh Cassio. And Josh, this investigation took 9 months. That's a pretty long time.
Yeah, and that's because this was a very complicated case involving multiple suspects who were allegedly doing everything they could to try and cover up this crime. In fact, we're told at least.
So this is one of the murder for hire plots that I covered before in Florida. I think the other one was in Miramar. But this one is extremely gruesome as well. Because, I mean, you have a 17-year-old girl who essentially was a victim in this.
At least 70 warrants had to be issued to get to the bottom of it all. Here's what we know. This is according to Hernando County Sheriff Al Nienhuis. Back on February 6th, Isabella Scavelli went with a relative to the Hernando County Sheriff's Office to report that she had been sexually assaulted by 36-year-old Leonard White, someone she knew. A day later, Scavelli hears a knock on the door. When she and her relative open it, they're met by 2 men who opened fire on them.
Damn.
Scavelli was killed.
So this nigga basically assaulted her intercourseally. And then when she told the police, he had her killed. Sent 2 niggas who probably, you know, had the same hairstyle as him. The matted dreads, the freeform dreads. And they X'd her out. Hey man, you got to be weary of these freeform dread niggas. I mean, I really can't tell you anything different. Obviously, we know the medium length dread. The medium length dread niggas are definitely you know, the ugly face dread niggas, as I like to call them. And then you have the freeform dread niggas. Obviously, a big problem. Hey man, you gotta be on a swivel, bro. You gotta be on a swivel. And honestly, this is why that no snitching thing is so prevalent, because you have a woman, she's sexually assaulted, she tells the police, and there's really no protection after she tells. And they would consider her a rat. They would consider her a snitch for telling, even though he potentially, you know, I mean, it's sexual battery, so I'm assuming maybe he slapped her ass, or I don't know, but it's insane, man.
2 men who opened fire on them. Scavelli was killed. Her relative survived. The sheriff says those 2 men were hired by White to kill her. More specifically, White allegedly paid a man named Sheldon Robinson $10,000 to kill.
See, I mean, and this nigga, look, lips ashy as fuck, white corners, trying to do the freeform dread shit, but he's in his ugly dread phase. How did I know it was an ugly dread phase, nigga, bro? I swear to God.
Scavelli. Robinson then took to social media looking for a helper, offering $5,000 and drugs as payment. We actually have a photo right there that he posted on social media showing the drugs in cash.
Yeah, so what you guys have to understand that these niggas will flex hit money, which is absolutely insane. But niggas will flex hit money on their story. They'll say, "Oh, you know, just clocked in." Niggas will be like, "Clock in," and then they'll show like a whole bunch of money, and then whatever they got for executing the hit, or they'll show money. Oh, deposit, you know, job well done. I swear, I promise you, this is what they doing, bruh. I promise you, this is what they doing.
Keyshawn Woods, a known gang member, was said to be the other guy.
Another freeform dread nigga and neck tattoo. So that obviously is a red flag. I've told you guys before, these neck tattoo niggas are out here doing damage. Does this mean every freeform dread nigga with a neck tattoo is? No, it doesn't mean that. But I mean, if you just want to save yourself some time and do some quick math, it's not that hard to add it up. You know, a lot of these guys, they just look the part, you know. This nigga, he Keyshawn Woods, he kind of looked like he was probably getting a lot of hoes in the hood. He was probably fucking a lot of bitches. He looked like the type that'll burn a bitch and then, like, you know, not apologize for it type shit.
Guy to sign up for the hit, and it gets worse. Deputies say Robinson's mother also lied to investigators about her son's involvement, so she is facing charges as well. All 4 suspects face serious state and federal charges in connection with this.
So in this case, mama knew what he was doing and tried to cover it up. So mama was standing on business, mama was standing on principle, and that's all the shit that the hood niggas will say, the rappers will say. All the black people are going to say, "Oh man, mama stood on business, and then they're not going to care about the black woman that was killed in this case. Out of this story, you show this story to a black person, for one, they're going to be like, "Oh, Miss Robinson stood on business. She stood on bruh, a black woman was killed. Y'all keep saying y'all care about black women, but then when it comes to hold the niggas who killing black women accountable, y'all ain't trying to do it." His mother lied to the police, right? Probably said, "Oh, he was with me all day." Man, these hoes are ridiculous.
Alleged murder for hire plot. The sheriff saying, by all accounts, Scavelli had a bright future. She was not involved in any dangerous behavior. She did everything right and tragically still had her life cut short.
When you have a 17-year-old in this particular victim, we have every reason to believe that she was not engaged in any high-risk activity. She was a good kid with a very bright future. And to see her life cut short is heart-wrenching, to say the least.
Now, the question of the death.
Now, in the comment section, after this video is done live streaming, I guarantee it's going to be people talking about, "Oh, black folks wouldn't support it." Bruh, y'all be lying. I swear to God, y'all be lying, because motherfuckers will really be in the comments like, if the whole story was told, y'all know y'all are going to uplift the mama who didn't snitch. Y'all know that for like, come on. And then if they all get in an interrogation room and then like somebody rats on the other, they're going to be like, "Man, y'all niggas pussy because mama didn't snitch, but everybody else, you know, folded. Man, mama the only real nigga in the part." I promise you, bruh, having no sensitivity to the black woman who was killed.
Penalty came up for 3 of the 4 suspects involved. Prosecutors say the decision on capital punishment has not yet been filed with the court, but that it is being considered. Certainly tonight, the sheriff is promising that anyone thinking about tampering with witnesses in this case or taking any other threatening action will be held accountable. He says with these suspects behind bars, the community is...
So this is how dumb these niggas are, bruh. This is how dumb these niggas are, bruh. You got a sexual battery case starting with Leonard White, which, you know, he was probably trying to overcome that name all his life. Nigga was probably, you know, on his ass for his name, Leonard. You know what I'm saying? That's a name that'll get you made fun of in the black community. But anyways, it's a sexual battery that turns into a fucking murder for hire. And not only did, see, if he would have just took the sexual battery charge, most likely he would have been out today. Probably would have got probation or whatnot, but he was probably on probation. But I think there's like a disconnect to some of these niggas where they think just because a probation officer says, man, if I see you again, I'm gonna recommend they lock you up for good now. Just because a probation officer says that shit doesn't mean that's actually going to happen. It's up to the prosecutors as to what they want to do with you, what deal they're going to give you, and then the judge has a final decision. So in this case, he could have caught that sexual battery charge and literally got, I mean, I'm not going to say he was going to get away with it, but got a slap on the wrist for it. Whereas in this case, now he crashes out. He gets two other black men involved who, you know, probably would have been open to doing something like this anyway and would have crashed out eventually anyway. But now he took a sexual battery case and turned it into, I mean, essentially a fucking triple homicide. Well, not triple homicide, but a three-party homicide. So now he's, not only is he fucked, but then the niggas that he brought on are fucked as well. And I guess he didn't think that through, that if she already told on me and I go kill her, they're not gonna, they're gonna, you know, they're not gonna look at me. Like in his mind, they're not gonna look at me as a suspect. Very stupid.
Alleged murder for hire plot. The sheriff saying, by all accounts, Scavelli had a bright future. She was not involved in any dangerous behavior. She did everything right and tragically still had her life cut short.
When you have a 17-year-old and this particular victim, we have every reason to believe that she was not
thinking about tampering with witnesses.
Okay, so yeah, the police just said, hey, if you're thinking about tampering with the witness, you know. So let's see. Yeah, there's so many stories that you guys have sent to me. This fast walk story, right? There's an Asian restaurant that apparently was closed after a violent reopening. Very interesting to see what was stirred up in this one. Let's check it out.
It is almost hard to imagine a restaurant reopened in Indianapolis this week only to experience more violence in 2 days than most see in 2 years.
Damn.
Multiple reports of fights, vandalism, and guns. Now, Fast Walk on the east side is closed again because the owners just don't feel safe.
Damn. So this, in my opinion, is another example of Asian hate, where you have presumably super gremlins who are fucking up the business of an Asian family, you know, mainly because they don't care about, you know, fucking up people's business. But then I would also say they felt there would be no or little to no consequences because this family is Asian. So, and, you know, from what we've been seeing online, Asians are extremely passive when it comes to fending off super gremlins. So
Our Logan Gay talked with customers about this today. Logan?
Jenny, to say customers were disappointed at the closure would be an understatement. They think of the owner as a member of their own family. So to hear violence forced her to shut down shocked them.
There's no place like this. No place at all like this.
The parking lot at the Fast Walk Chinese and Thai food now sits empty. A sign in the door telling customers it's closed. It's a far cry from 3 days ago when it reopened and a line of people went down the street.
I had friends that waited 12 hours in line the first day that it opened.
Tracy says her own son waited in line for 6 hours Friday. Customers say the wait has always been worth it.
It's a unique taste. It's different from every.
So everybody in the city loves this restaurant. As you can see, people are waiting hours to be fed here. And now it has to close.
Everybody else's.
It was just so good. I mean, the seasonings, everything. It was the best in the city.
Fast Walk has been in business for 30 years.
Mm.
Customers affectionately called the owner
30 years and a couple niggas end it overnight.
Mama. And 2 days after reopening, Mama says she's had enough and they're closing for good.
Damn.
Her team posted this on the restaurant Facebook page explaining why. They say they've had 5 police calls, an alleged gun incident, fighting and arguing every day. They went on to say it never used to be this way.
I said, I'll give it a couple of weeks and then I'll go. Well, now I can even go a couple of weeks because it's closed.
In another Facebook post, the team says Mama has also canceled the free Thanksgiving dinner. It also
Damn. Look how niggas just fuck shit up for everybody. They were gonna do free Thanksgiving. Oh man. I mean, this is how impactful our actions are on businesses. And you know, we had debates with Chaotic about, can these super gremlins really damage infrastructure? I mean, you don't have to damage infrastructure. Just make it so that just make it so that it's unsafe to do business. And as you guys can see, that is what the super gremlins have done. So after this, we're going to get into we're going to go to Fast Walk's Facebook page, and they are located in Indiana. All right. On East Washington Street, Indianapolis, Indiana. And unfortunately, they are closing. I would advise them to take their talents to a conservative state or a conservative city where they will be appreciated and won't be harassed or endangered in any way.
Explains that after 2 broken front doors and threats of violence, Mama no longer feels safe for her customers, staff, and family. Another customer says she took this cell phone video moments after the alleged gun incident inside the restaurant. In it, Mama says she will not take any more disrespect.
Not only that, they have no respect for each other, they have no respect for me and the London business. I am very disappointed about that.
People just...
So who do you think are doing these things? Who do you think are doing? I mean, it's obviously niggas. These niggas went in there in Mama's Fast Walk, Chinese, Thai, whatever the hell restaurant, and they disrespect her business, disrespect her family by bringing the violence to her doorstep. These super gremlins are on demon time. And how much you want to bet? How much you want to bet they got into it over that damn sesame chicken? It was most likely over some damn chicken.
Just have no respect for anything anymore. Very angry about things.
The foolishness has to stop.
The owner has watched generations of families enjoy her food. Customers say this closing feels personal.
Huge, huge loss. Just because, I mean, you can see, look, people are coming by every minute just to make sure that it's really true.
When are they going to learn? How many restaurants are we going to lose because of people's foolishness?
People's who? See, this, and black women really need to get specific. When are they going to learn? Who the fuck is they? People's foolishness. Who the fuck are people? It's the community. Literally the only ones who are forcing businesses to shut down. The only community that's forcing businesses to shut down. This is something that, you know, we need to be embarrassed about. We need to, I mean, and the worst part is she voted for this. So this is where the I told you so's come in. And these are the sweet I told you so's, even though it affected Fast Walk, unfortunately. But we also know that these sisters were hungry too. Y'all know they was hungry and they wanted some more of that damn food. And what happened was, you know, a ratchet bitch brought her Thug Max Alpha Simp boyfriend. They pull up. The line is long. Niggas start cutting. Niggas pull out straps, and the rest is history.
How many restaurants are we going to lose because of people's foolishness?
Yeah, you can hear the frustration there. I reached out to Fast Walk for a comment about the closure and if they ever will consider a reopening, but I haven't heard back yet. Jenny?
And they shouldn't. Why would they bless this city, this liberal city, with their wonderful food? Why would they bless y'all with that? Y'all don't deserve it. Y'all don't deserve it. So I hope they don't reopen in Indiana, at least Indianapolis specifically. But this is a message from Mama yesterday at 7:45 p.m. Message from Mama. Thanks for the cards, flowers, and sweets. She says she intends to reopen in January. She is still in rehab. So she's gonna reopen that mug in January, and she's rehabbing. Okay. Message from Mama. This is a day ago. She will never forget you and your kindness. She will reopen with better security and crowd control. Wow. So, and people really love her in this city. It's unfortunate though. Mama, or message from Mama. Thanks for your support and your loyalty and love for her. She's very sad about what happened. She will reopen in the future with better security, better crowd control, but she will reopen. So now, not only does she have to hire security, which is going to affect her take home, and then she probably it's also going to affect the wait times as well, because now you have to not lay off, but you have to supplant somebody's shift. So now you have one less cook because you can't pay for the security and the cook, because the security gonna want at least $20 an hour to handle that crowd of niggas, honestly. 25 maybe even. So, and the cooks, they're probably getting paid 10, 15, between 10 and 15. So, I mean, that this is affecting her take home, all because niggas don't know how to act right. So, better security, better crowd control. Free Thanksgiving has been canceled. With regret, Mama has canceled the free Thanksgiving. Some have wondered what led her to the decision. Before, Fast Walk was a peaceful place. In the first 2 days, we had 2 broken front doors, 5 police calls, several threats of violence, the need to lock down the building. Thankfully, no one was injured or killed. She no longer feels safe for her customers, staff, and family. She loves you all. They actually need to do a drive-by, or not a drive-by, but they need a drive-through window so that she doesn't allow people inside. Drive-through window, back the cars up. At least you can kind of better monitor from that way. So let's Okay, so at 5:40, she had a 7-hour wait time for the end of the line. That's insane. That is insane. So they had a lot of business. Let's get into some of these comments. With high demand and large crowds, you need security. And this is Brandon Howard. And we wonder why businesses don't want to come to the east side or why they leave. This is why. Yep. And people talk about food deserts, especially the Black community. Food deserts here, food deserts there, food deserts everywhere. Y'all don't know how to act when y'all get some good food. How are y'all ready to crash out over food, bruh? When food is plentiful and bountiful, like we ain't in Africa. We're not starving. Yo fat ass just had some Popeyes 2 hours ago, and now you ready to kill over some Fast Walk. Sit your ass down. This is exactly why. Sad to hear this, but I respect her decision. Her health is more important than having to deal with a bunch of unruly folks. Should have just said niggas, honestly. Take care of you, Mama. Thank you for your dedication to the east side for all these years. Oh, this is sad. Sad that it had to come to this. Thank you, Mama. Just sickening. Sorry you had to experience this, Mama. Whatever keeps you at peace, Mama. I support you regardless. Wonder if we have some people upset. Okay, somebody says SMH. I was so excited about coming to try it for the first time, but I understand. Excuse me. Let's see. Thanks for the delicious food. Oh, thank you for all the years of great food. My ex-husband family introduced me about 17 years ago, and for a long time, we went every Friday and happily stood in line for an hour and always had good experiences. Man, so that just tells you how drastically the city of Indianapolis has changed. We love you, Mama. Sorry to hear this. Thanks for your business. So very supportive people. You know, and I hope the best for her and the restaurant. But I mean, it's just a lot to deal with, especially as an elderly Asian woman, when the rise of Asian hate is at an all-time high. These instances where people are pulling out weapons in your place of business can be really frightening. And she's at the end of her life and she wants to live her life in peace, man. She wants to do what she loves, but she can't do it in these democratic cities. I hope she recognizes that. I hope she owns the actual building. I hope she sells the building. You know, that would be my move. I'd sell the building. I'd take the proceeds. I'd pick up somewhere else and go to a conservative town, conservative city, where you don't need security, where your costs can even be lowered, actually. But obviously, she probably doesn't want to uproot at her age. You know, people who get up in that age, they want to die in the city that they work so hard to build something. And I totally understand, totally respect that. But it's just sad that the Black community has to ruin every fucking business. I mean, it's absolutely insane. We're ruining every fucking business. And also, I wanna play a clip that I got before I get into the final story that we have today, where we're talking about Black customer service. And this is a heated debate that was hosted on, I guess, some podcasts. I don't know the exact podcast, but it was a heated debate about Black service. And, you know, if we don't do something to correct our behavior as a collective, I know, well, I would never do nothing like that. Yeah, we know maybe you would never do nothing like that, even though we don't believe you, bitch. But even though the people say I would never do it, like the people in the comments, I would never do nothing like that. I would never. Y'all lying like fuck, because y'all be the main ones. Go get that bitch. Y'all be the main ones. But anyways, this brother is going to explain how Black people, Black businesses, Black people in the service industry have the worst customer service. And unfortunately, I have to agree with him. You ain't gonna get the worst service that you can get is from one of these overweight single mothers in a drive-through window. I'll tell you that right now. So you really have to understand that this is not something that is uncommon. This is very normal, very common.
Black people have the worst customer service in the motherfucking world. And you can say that you don't agree with that, because I don't give a fuck why. If we get our customer service better, we'll make more business. Bottom line. So you can say whatever you want.
You heard that nigga. He said Black people have the worst customer service in the motherfucking world. Damn. And that hits hard, because as a Black entrepreneur, it sucks to have a stigma on your company just solely based off of your skin color. And obviously, you know, there's a lot of pushback on, there's a lot of pushback on social media. Oh, support Black business, all this kind of stuff. So, and people want to, believe it or not, people want to do business with the Black community. They really do. They see the financial upside, but it has to make sense. And how does it have to make sense? It has to be safe. That's the first thing. Just make it safe. Then we can talk about customer service. But here's the thing. The customer service is what makes it unsafe in a lot of cases. Okay? The customer service makes it unsafe. All right. And it's just unfortunate that we've got to this place in 2023 where we've got all the opportunity in the world. And when you have people who are starting businesses, and in a lot of cases, you know, the actual good Black businesses who are doing good service and they don't get any shine, because other Black people will look at it and be like, oh, well, that nigga's just lame as fuck. He a square. I'm not putting money in his pocket because he ain't no real nigga. And then the bullshit Black companies, Black businesses, like, you know, let's keep it a buck. A lot of y'all doing hair and all this type of shit. Not all of y'all, but some of y'all are like unnecessary fees, unnecessary taxing people. Like, it's just absolutely insane. So let's see. Let's get into the rest of what he's saying. Shout out to David for the $5 Cash App. He says, good show, man. Appreciate that.
Oh, say less. When you go to the Chinese restaurant, they nice to you. They, hey Ray, how you doing today? No, they just as mean.
That's not true. What the fuck is she talking about? Did you see how many people in the comments section were supporting Mama? It's a Chinese restaurant. Even on their Facebook page, it says Fast Walk Chinese restaurant. And she had the nerve to say, when you go into the Chinese restaurant, them people ain't saying, hey, how you doing? Yes, they are. What the fuck is she talking about? What is she talking about? Every Chinese restaurant I go into, oh, hey, how are you? How much you want? What do you want? Sit? Do you want to go? Or you want to take out? You here for pickup, or you here to sit down? Oh, yes. Here, please come sit. Oh, yes, please come sit. If they got an extra fee they want to charge you, oh, yes, extra sauce come with fee. Yes, extra sauce come with fee. And sometimes you get a couple of them. Oh, we waive fee. Oh, okay, it's fine. We waive fee. You ain't finna tell me that they ain't nice to you at the Chinese restaurants. That's bullshit. That's bullshit, bro. That is bullshit. I mean, I don't know what the fuck they talking about. Like, they try and make it seem like they're just on some hurry up and buy. No, the fuck they not. No, the fuck they not. They really aren't. All right. And but you know what's making them want to get on that type of time? The Asian hate that is perpetuated, permeated, and enabled by the community. That could probably be a reason why they're responding to that time. But if you go in that establishment, you smile, you look somebody in the eye, and you say, hey, you know, hey, how you doing? What do y'all have? You know, what's the lunch special today? I guarantee you they're going to give you really good service. Shout out to Bo Brown. He said, I had a Chinese guy go to the grocery store to get my son some milk to drink. Yeah. I mean, honestly, like I'm trying to figure out when I've ever had a bad experience with any, let's just forget about businesses. I've literally, and I'm trying to think really hard, but I've never had a bad experience with an Asian, period. And I've interacted with a lot of Asians. I really have. Never had a bad experience in the States. All right. I can't speak for other places. And, you know, people gonna go, well, the people in China, they racist. I can't speak for the people in China. All I know is when these motherfuckers come here, they're nice as shit. They're, you know, they're trying to learn the language. A lot of them are very docile. And I've never had a problem doing business or just in friendship with Asian people, period. Okay. I genuinely haven't. And then they go say, oh, well, the parents be racist. I don't give a fuck. They ain't expressed that to me. When I was in the restaurant, they was nice. When I pulled up to the wing restaurant, and I said, hey, can I get those? Actually, they gave me the box. Actually, can I get the fries made fresh? I'm so sorry. Oh, yes, fresh fries. Oh, yes, I'm so sorry. She take the box. She threw everything away and remade everything. No complaints, no issues. Can y'all say that for niggas? I sort of got, if you went to a black chicken restaurant and you said, oh, my bad, I wanted the what the fuck you mean? You should have told me that before. Bruh, you're not getting the same service. Stop the cap. See, and a lot of black women love to do shit like this where they be mean too. No, they be mean to y'all because y'all ass go in there and y'all, you know, go and look at every weave, look at every wig. You put every damn wig on your head. And then some of y'all are stuffing them wigs into your fucking bag. We've done stories on that too, where y'all going in and looting the hair shops, looting the nail shops. They're mean to y'all because y'all are assholes to them. Have you ever figured that? When you go in somebody's establishment and I like, you just feel acting like you better than them, and y'all know y'all be doing that. Sisters know they go into somebody's establishment. They'll wait 2-3 minutes. Oh, 1 second. I'll be right with you. Have to go to the back and do feet and then come back. I get to you right away. And then her ass, she gonna make me wait 5 minutes. Then you don't want to pay the full price. Like, why are they acting like, bruh, I'm just saying, in the States, I have never had a negative experience with one Asian person, period. Ever. And you'll be hard pressed to say the same. And if you're being honest now, obviously it's going to be some black people who get on here. Man, when I go to that bodega in New York on 7th Street, them Asians, they be looking us up and down. Because y'all are pushing them into ongoing traffic and moving trains in the subway.
I don't go to the fucking Chinese restaurant.
All right, but you know what I'm saying, Ray. Like,
I don't
stop.
go.
We could yell.
No, we don't know what you're saying. I would have stopped her right there. Stop lying. You've never had a bad experience with an Asian person ever in your fucking life. Stop the cap.
I'm speaking for Ray.
I'm speaking for Ray.
At the end of the day, Asians don't sit there and say, hey, your customer service has to be perfect. Your product has to be.
Yes, the fuck they do. Maybe not the product, because they might throw some rats in the chicken and stuff like that. Y'all know how it go. But the customer service is good. Oh, yes, how you doing? The food may not be all that at some, places, but the customer service is always good.
Be A1 before I support you. They support you.
So
other
hold on,
races support you.
So Sue in the West there from American Deli she's a very customer service driven.
See? So you hear bro right here, Sue from American Deli. She's not even running a Chinese restaurant. She's serving American food. We have multiple American delis where I'm at, and a lot of them are run by Asians, and they always give good customer service. Even the restaurants in the mall are run by Asians, and they always give good customer service because their culture is built on honor and respect. So this is how I know she's lying, or she goes in there with a fucking shitty attitude. And this is what a lot of black women like to do. They like to go in being the problem, then act like somebody else is the problem. Respectfully. Let's keep it a buck. Let's get real funky on here. Y'all know y'all going into these Asian restaurants giving Sue Young a damn attitude. But black men, we going in there, hey, how y'all doing? Some of us are, robbing, stealing, shooting, as you guys can see at Fast Walk. But the Malcolms is what I'm talking about. The mildly attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable men like this brother here. We're going in there. Hey, what's up? You give us good treatment, we give good treatment. Stop acting like y'all don't go into these establishments with fucking attitudes, bruh. With really nice people, y'all go. I see it all the damn time, and I'm like, why the fuck is she acting like this?
Vigil. She understands.
Shout out to the one Asian.
Oh my.
The one Asian, bro. Are you fucking kidding me? Literally, I genuinely don't understand how they can rationalize this. Asian people, out of all Americans, Asian Americans are probably the nicest motherfuckers in the States. Period. End of discussion. There is even the data backs this up. There's literally no debating this. There's no debating. They're the nicest. They're the most passive when it comes to physical conflict and physical altercations. Even verbal altercations. What are we talking about? What are you talking about? Like, I genuinely don't understand what the fuck she's talking about. Because here's the thing. They go in there projecting. They're mad. They're upset. They had a bad day. And they give these nail techs hell. They give these women who sell hair they give them hell. They're stealing. They're robbing. They're fighting these women. They pulling out hair. Let's not act like Asian people are not the nicest people in the States. Now, I can't speak for China. I can't speak for Japan, right? But I can speak for the United States. And when Asian Americans, Korean Americans, Japanese Americans come to the United States, they're nice as fuck. Period. There's literally no debate. All the data backs up what I'm saying as it pertains to crime, as it pertains to homicides, anything as it pertains to education. Like, where is she getting this shit from? That was the only one Asian, bruh. They're nice as fuck. It's wild. But here's the thing: a lot of these sisters are threatened by niceness. Ooh. Now that's a deep one. A lot of them are threatened by niceness. Why? Because when you're happy with your life, I'm preaching. When you are happy, when you're ecstatic, when things are going well for you and they're not for them, oh, you best believe they're going to have an attitude. Shout out to Sunny Singh. He says, LOL, I'm Asian. And you got it right. Most of us assimilate very well. Exactly. I mean, I remember there was this, when I was in high school, there was a Korean exchange student. He came to my high school. This was when I was going to private school. And he came and we made really good friends because we were the only quote unquote minorities there. And obviously, you know, Asians, they look white, right? And there's distinct differences between them and white people, of course. But, you know, considering that we were the only minorities in the school, we bonded. And the guy's name was Alex, or his American name was Alex. And he had a sister. And yeah, we used to tease him here and there about his sister. He used to tease us about our sisters. You know, that's kind of what the guys do. But, you know, once he came to the school, this guy became my best friend. And he was so fucking nice. Too nice. I had to teach him how to be mean. Like, I had to teach him, like, nah, Alex, you can't go for that. This bitch said this to you. This dude said that to you. He making fun of. Nah, Alex, you can't go for that. And then he learned very quickly on how to pop back. He learned how to joan. He learned how to defend himself verbally. And even after that, I mean, he's gone on to do great things. Not going to put his business out there, but I mean, he's really smart guy. So smart. He went back to Korea to do his 1 year of military, came back to the States, worked in Washington, D.C. Just a dynamite guy overall, man. And this guy, you know, he literally had to learn to be mean. Like, I was teaching him, if somebody says this about you, you say this. I was teaching him, like, and he was like, but why would I say something mean about somebody? He couldn't grasp the concept. And I said, to defend yourself. And he's like, well, they aren't hitting me. They aren't throwing stones at me. They aren't hitting me with rocks or anything. I said, Alex, in America, if somebody talks shit, you talk shit back to them. Period. And I had to teach this man how to be mean. I had to teach him how to joan. I had to teach him how to make fun of other people. I had to teach him how to pick out physical imperfections in people and harp on them because he wouldn't defend himself. People make fun of him and like do the little eye thing and shit like that. And I'd be sitting here like, bro, you just let this ugly ass bitch do this. He's like, well, she didn't hit me, so I'm fine. Again, let me reiterate and let me be clear. Out of any demographic in the United States, Asians are the nicest demographic, period, by far, customer service wise, interpersonal communication wise. You're not going to get nicer than that. when it comes to Americans. Of all shades of backgrounds, Asians are the nicest. There's no debating. There's no arguing. The data shows it. I mean, there's literally no metric where you can argue this except your anecdotal experiences, which most of the time are going to be one side of the story, especially with black women. Y'all know they are not telling the truth about their interactions with Asians. Y'all know y'all be giving them ladies attitudes, bruh. Stop acting like y'all don't. I see it.
Sue moved to the West End. Sue moved to the West End, and Sue started selling wings. And now you can take a selfie with Sue. You can have a good time with
And
Sue.
Sue only plays Gucci like music.
She does.
Like
So you hear she embraced the culture. You think Sue really likes that nigga shit? Fuck no. When Sue goes home, she's listening to that's what she. You think when Sue goes home, she listens to fucking Gucci Man? Hell no. She's doing that for y'all niggas. Accommodating, assimilating to the culture. And then black women have the nerve to go in there and say, oh, you're culturally appropriating. Why? Because she's listening to a rapper that all y'all niggas like, that her customer base likes. You can't win with these people. You can't win.
That makes sense why he's defending Sue.
She's playing to her audience.
She's playing it.
She understands her audience.
So y'all gonna go to black people restaurants because you can take
Nah,
selfies.
no.
Black people have.
So here we go.
Until hold on. So we talk about black customer service. I had this conversation the other day with one of our artists. She was like, my nail tech moved from Atlanta. I was like, I got another one for you. She asked me, she was like, she black? I was like, yeah. She's like, no, I don't want to go there. She probably don't do feet.
This is a real thing. A lot of black nail techs are missing money because they won't do feet. A lot of black nail techs are missing money because they won't do their jobs, period.
And she probably gonna charge me an arm and a leg. And I was like, the fuck? She's like, every black nail tech she went to in Atlanta, I was like, I'm not gonna touch your feet. They charge you an extra a reservation fee, and then they give you shitty service when you get there.
This is a fact. This is a fact. And he's saying in Atlanta, guess where I'm at? I'm in fucking Atlanta. It's a fact. It's a fact. Not only will they say, oh, you know, I'm not going to do feet. They will straight up rob you. They will literally rob you. I swear to God. Some of these hoes will literally have their Thug Max Alpha Simp boyfriend pull up with a strap, hold everybody at gunpoint, get you robbed, and then pick up and try and help you find the money. I swear they will set you up, bro. And here's the thing. I've gotten pedicures. I've gotten manicures. When you go to these Asian places, they're not scared of feet. They're not scared of corns. They're not scared of cuticles. They're not scared of dead skin on your heel. They're getting it all. They might have gloves on. Some may not. But they're getting it all. They're going to soak your damn feet. They're going to pick them damn cuticles out. They're going to pull your corns out. They're going to scrub the bottom of your heel. They're going to, if you ask for it, they're going to, glaze your toes with the little clear nail polish. I mean, it's just, it's the reality, bro.
And I was like, damn, that's fucked up. We can't even have.
I spend $500,000 a year on bullshit, bro. And I love spending money. And the reason why I don't spend with black establishments like that, because they got fucked up attitudes. They don't give you a smile. They don't even say, hello, how you doing, man? I take your order.
Right. I mean, the only one that I can really think of off the top of my head is Slutty Vegan. But I mean, it's kind of one of those restaurants where they insult you on the way in, right? They're just, oh, you little slut, da da da. This is the first time getting slutted out, even though, Slutty Vegan, I think it's overpriced. But anyways, that's another conversation for another day. But that's the only one where I can remember where you get really good customer service from a black-owned establishment in Atlanta. Now, everybody's going to go, well, what about here? What about there? Look, man, I'm just telling you from what I have seen, that's pretty much it. Just like that food commentator, the guy who reviews food, Elijah, I forgot his name, Elijah something. He was talking about eating at these establishments and the customer service and getting bad customer service from black establishments. And then black people flamed him on Twitter because they like, why don't you just write a good review just because they black? Well, then that's not objective. Then you're not being honest. Then you're losing credibility because you're saying this place is good. They've got good customer service. They're going to treat you like you pulling up the Chick-fil-A. And then when you pull up, they got a 300-pound woman talking about some, what you want.
But I'm supposed to keep spending with them because they look like me? Fuck that. The rich are gonna the people that are gonna rise to the top, the people that understand what it takes to win.
Yep.
Not the people that feel like you should let me win because they let them win. That's not how you win.
Yep.
And
that's very much how Black women operate. Let me win, and a lot of Black male simps as well. Let me win because y'all let them win, or support me because I'm Black and you Black, and if you don't support me, you hate your mama and your mama Black. Like. What? No, you're just trash. You're just not good at your job.
What matters is the service. We are in the service business. I am in the service business. I am successful. 16 years later, I love Tehran. I love Tehran. Guess why you love Tehran? Because Tehran understands when I walk in this bitch, I'm a service. Yeah. You don't look at this bitch and walk here like I'm the biggest songwriter in the world. Y'all all need to bow down to me. That's why we rich. And my thing is, a Black man that has made millions of dollars and want to see other Black people make millions of dollars. I know the one thing that's the difference is the fucking attitude.
Yep.
That's why I yell, because the attitude is the difference. If you fix your attitude, everything else will follow. But
meanwhile, she literally has an attitude on this podcast. She can't stomach this, and she knows it's true, but she wants to give Black people an excuse, specifically Black women. Y'all know it's really Black women with the attitude. Yes, Black men in the streets, they have a horrible attitude for sure, but they're not in the service industry. They're not in business. They're not starting LLCs. They're not starting companies. So they're pretty much irrelevant in this conversation because the Thug Max Alpha Simps, the Super Gremlins, they're irrelevant because they're not in the service business, maybe trapping. But we all know when it comes to the attitude, it's Black women who exemplify the worst attitudes in the service industry. And it's unfortunate. Like I said, I wish that something could be done. I wish it wasn't the case. I wish it wasn't true, but it is true. And this Black woman, she knows it's true. And she won't admit it because she's sold on an ideology. She's sold ideologically on the idea that Black is best and Black is. I'm not here to say what's best or what's worse or anything like that. I'm here to lay out the reality. Black businesses, a lot of them, not all, but a lot of Black businesses have piss poor service, and it shows and it reflects. And unfortunately, in order to overcome this, you have to acknowledge this and stop enabling it, which we continue to perpetuate the enabling culture, right? We got op culture. We got crash out culture. We have enabling culture when it comes to business in the service industry in the Black community.
But you think,
or community rather.
Well, they ain't got to fix their attitude. Well, we ain't them. We ain't them.
Yeah, and here's the thing. We're not them, and they don't have to fix their attitude because they have good attitudes. Point blank. I mean, look at Chick-fil-A, a shining example. They founded their business not only on chicken sandwiches, right, and chicken products in general, but they founded their business based off of customer service. Now, if we get a Black business that says, not only are we going to serve really good food, but we're also going to hire people who have good customer service, then we can get in that conversation of, okay, but y'all know, if I mention some restaurants and correlate that to customer service, who do you imagine? So let me just start. The customer service at Popeyes. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? I know what the first thing that comes to my mind is. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? For customer service at Popeyes. Customer service at Church's Chicken. It's the first thing that comes to your mind. Customer service at Crystal's, or Crystal rather, the baby sandwich shop. It's not actually a baby sandwich shop, but they make little sandwiches, right? I call them baby sandwiches. Right? Customer service at Burger King. Who comes to your mind? Customer service at Checkers. Who comes to your mind? Customer service at Arby's. Who's coming to your mind? Need I go on? And these aren't even Black business, but these services are solely ran a lot of times by Black employees. Customer service at Denny's. Remember we did that story on the Denny's? Who's coming to your mind? So this is not to say that, oh, don't do business with Black businesses. But for one, this shines a light that, hey, as a community, we need to do better in the service industry. We need to give better service. That's first and foremost. Second, we need to respect others that give good service, like Mama at the Fast Walk. We need to respect others who give good service. You can't give good service if you don't respect others who don't give, or sorry, you can't give good service if you don't respect others who give good service. Point blank. You can't. And a lot of people in the community tend to not support others who give good service. And then that's when you start to see other communities start lashing out. I mean, even they love talking about, well, the Indians and the Asians, they coming up and buying the Black community. But then when y'all go in there, y'all know for a fact they nice as hell. Hey, my brother, what you doing? Oh, you got another blunt, another Black and mild. Oh, man, this is the third time today. You're going to cough up a lung. See you later, my friend. Don't act like y'all ain't getting that type of service at the Indian store. Fuck out of here. Y'all, I swear to God, y'all get on this damn app and lie, bro. Straight up lying. Not only about your own personal experiences, but about the general experience of customer service as it pertains to different communities. Like, they love trying to make it seem like, oh, well, these Indians and Asians, they come in the Black community, buy everything up. They racist and mean as fuck and hawking us down when we come in. Man, they are not hawking y'all down. They getting them damn slot machines. And then you got 30 crackheads lined up outside the gas station playing them slots. And they're paying you off the gambling machines when they're only supposed to pay you in store credit. They're paying you cash behind the counter. So don't act like they ain't doing it, man. They out here, they're working with y'all. I'm gonna tell you that right now. These Indians, these Asians, they're working with the community. Guess what the community is doing? We're fumbling the bag. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Ain't no excuse. Oh, they're mean to us. They're locking us out of these businesses. No, you're fumbling the bag. That's what's happening.
If we was them, we would be where they are. We are us. And the thing that's holding us back is we don't treat each other with respect.
Facts.
We don't. The only thing that matters is the service. We are in a service business. Service.
So
hold on, stop. So I'm trying to teach you how to get to a certain place, and you don't want to accept that you got to change your motherfucking attitude if you do.
Yep.
And instead of change your attitude, you want to bring up what Asians do. I don't know if the motherfucker is smiling by the way they talking. I don't know their culture. I know our culture, and I know our culture. Black women have bad attitudes, and so do a lot of Black people.
Fact.
And my thing is that we want to make money, then fix your motherfucking attitude. Or you'll be off and you'll see another motherfucker that's smiling. They'll be like, they only picked her because she's white. No, we picked her because she smiled.
Yep.
Service.
So
facts. We picked her because she's nice. She smiled. So you hear somebody, dog has a few valid points. Somebody says not all Black people or Black businesses have bad attitudes. That's not what he fucking said. See, nobody said all. Some, he said. Man, dude is right. I've been to plenty of Black establishments and their attitudes are shit. These are all Black people, mind you. I done been to white establishments and they treat me like shit. All Black establishments don't have poor customer service. And this nigga free give rip kiff. What the fuck? So he's saying he's gone to white establishments and they treat him like shit. Where? Just name drop them. Okay. Where? Deadass. I'm not saying you can't get bad service but you know, dropping the restaurant would be nice for context. LMAO brothers, just say it out loud. Black men don't like to see other Black men be successful. It's an epidemic of us against us. Who you think gonna win? Ray acting like Dwight Howard. Nah, for real. Stop it, fam. I don't get what he's saying. How does this mean? He's actually trying to give you constructive criticism, but a lot of Black people are too sensitive to take this advice. And this sister says, I'm with you when you write. Okay. And you see this black woman says, he's not treating anyone in this interview with respect, though. How isn't he? But he's talking about respect. He don't respect or support black business, but he wants black business to thrive. And what he said about spending his money, she's the throw up emoji. I've had far more good experiences than bad with black businesses. I feel better when I can buy black. I don't know this guy, but he's very emotional here. He's passionate about something, but I don't know what because of his terrible communication. Well, then you obviously were not listening. Somebody says all facts, especially in ATL. Sorry, but it's true. Yeah, I mean, anybody who's being authentic within themselves is going to tell you that shit is the fucking truth. Anybody who's lived in Atlanta for more than 6 months is going to tell you that, hey, when you do go to these black businesses, a lot of times you will get shitty customer service. That's a fact. Okay. Especially if the hostess is a gay nigga, respectfully.
But at the end of the day, nobody comes here to argue with you. Nobody at all. There are bills that we have the right to take off. We have the right to make decisions about. You say that you're running it at the end of the day, because this is going to be the narrative when we go broke. You're going to say, I wasn't even on the bank account. The trustees did it. When at the end of the day, you're making decisions and spending money and then get mad when we don't approve it because.
All right. So this story is about a woman named Tiffany Henyard, a mayor in Dalton. And she is being accused of wasting 150 grand of taxpayer money to lease a Chevy Tahoe.
It's not financially sound. I sat here and looked at a lease that y'all's paying $149,000 for one of them trucks. You make that's like when you 19 years old and you go get a car and the interest rate 27%.
And it's just a lease, mind you, for a Tahoe. Are you out of your fucking mind? And here's the thing. A lot of black women in leadership positions do this. Look at Mayor LaToya Cantrell taking $30,000 of taxpayer monies to fly private to France. This is what a lot of black women do when they get in power. Even some black men. But mainly I see it out of black women.
That makes absolutely no sense. You're not making great finance. Excuse me? Please stay facts. But let me tell you, here it is, dated December 27th, 2022.
So she said, please state facts. That was the worst thing that she could have said. Literally, that was the worst thing that she could say, because this sister brings up the facts, okay? So you have the total cash price of $93,216.71. Absolutely insane. $55,000 in interest. Total lease price is $149,000. She's leasing this property. I mean, this vehicle. Not even purchasing it. And they ran up 150 bands.
The cash price of a 2023 Chevy Tahoe, $93,216.71. Interest and APR, $55,929.49. Total lease price, $149,146.20. Tell me if it's not facts, because your signature is all on it.
Her signature's on it, and guess what she says? This moment, listen up, guys. This is what I talk about when we talk about accountability. And this is a perfect example. And she's not running a business. She's running a whole city. And this is in Illinois. She's running a whole city. She's not running a business. She's running a city. And guess how she responds to the taxpayers by wasting their money? Guess how she responds? Listen up. She signed it. She signed the lease agreement.
I don't see that. Okay, but
I don't see that. It's clear. It's in her face. She showed the lease agreement. She signed the lease agreement in person. And her response is, I don't see that. So what do you think happens when you go to a black establishment and you bring back your food and you say, hey, man, I got some hair. It looks like a wig is, in my my chicken pot pie. Can I get another one made? What do you think the black women behind the counter are going to say? Based off of what this woman said, Tiffany Henyard. I'll give you another hint. Let's run it back. When the evidence is shown in their face and the facts are all laid out, the numbers are all laid out, and the numbers do not lie, nor do these signatures that are notarized. These signatures have to be notarized. And if you guys don't know what a notary is a witness, a person who witnesses something being signed, and they are licensed to notarize documents. So these documents have to be notarized, and which means that she had to sign it in front of a witness. And guess what she says in retort? So this is the same response that you're going to get at a black establishment if it is either being ran by a black woman or the person behind the counter is a black woman. Hey, I found a hair weave, a piece of a hair weave or some lash extensions in my food. Can I get a new chicken pot pie? This is what you're going to hear.
Not facts, because your signature is all on it. I don't see that. Okay.
I don't see that. There you have it. So this is why we can't improve, because when you show them the evidence, when you say, hey, this is where you're lacking, these are the issues that you have, this is where you need to improve. I don't see that.
But you want me to pass?
I don't.
Oh, right.
I'll
But
get
at
my
the end-
statement in
at
a few
the
minutes.
end
When she asked her, hey, do you want me to pass it to you? She said, I don't. She didn't even want to see it.
The day, it's not about going back and forth with you. It's about making financial decisions that is in the benefit of everybody and just not one person. And you can't seem to understand that.
Yep.
Have a great day.
So shout out to that strong sister right there, holding her fellow sister accountable. Honestly, that rarely happens in the black community, especially amongst black women. So shout out to her for that. Okay. We definitely give credit where credit is due.
WGN investigates a small South suburb with big bills and leaders with expensive taste. Last night, we showed you how some residents and elected officials claim the local mayor.
And just listen to the way she said that. Oh, big bills and leaderships with expensive taste. If this was a conservative, if this was Trump, a disgusting waste of taxpayer dollars, y'all know how they would go.
Retaliates against people who don't support her.
Well, tonight we look at a spending spree that's also causing questions and concern. Again, investigative reporter Ben Bradley.
40 minutes south of Chicago, you'll find Dalton, Illinois. The median income is $24,000 a year. And yet the mayor collects more than 10 times that amount from various elected positions. And as we found, a paycheck isn't the only perk.
In South suburban Dalton, the economic challenges run deep.
We still have areas that need trees cut, streets paved, alleys paved, sidewalks fixed. It's a lot of that going on.
And a lot that's being spent, not on critical repairs, but on travel, meals, and more by many top village officials.
It's an issue. It's been an issue for some time.
We just look up and we're paying for stuff. And it just makes no sense. She's just doing what she wants to do.
None of them do the things that we do here. We the only ones making sure y'all streets get paid, find ways to fix what is broken.
She is Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
But then they running y'all, tell y'all this little fictitious story.
Would you like to just do an interview with me?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, let's go. I mean,
In addition to leading Dalton, she also serves as supervisor of Thornton Township.
You make almost
She's cracking under the pressure, as you guys can see.
$300,000 between your two elected positions.
I do not. I don't know where you got that number from.
We got it from her own village and township records.
These are tax dollars.
So is the money being spent on village credit cards. WGN Investigates obtained copies of statements that reveal village officials have spent more than $24,000 at restaurants in just 1 year, including this Midlothian barbecue joint and a South Holland sub shop.
I've seen the same thing and more. You name it, they've done it.
Other questionable expenses include the streaming service Hulu, flights to Texas, Alabama, and Missouri, and hotel rooms in nearby suburbs, including Madison and Elk Grove Village, plus thousands of dollars spent at a hotel in downstate Pontiac.
My take is this. If they are going to something that's going to benefit the village, that's fine. But from my standpoint of view, these things don't benefit the village at all.
And then there are the trips to Las Vegas.
Wow.
Mayor Henyard and other top officials traveled to Sin City in May to attend a shopping center conference. It's unclear if it helped Dalton land any deals.
Don't have a clue. We're all in the dark. Not only are the residents in the dark, but the trustees are also in the dark as well.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
Sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas?
So she's straight denying it. She's straight denying it. Like she's not even. This is the customer service that you're receiving, guys. Remember when I said, who do you think of when I say, who's in the drive-through window at Popeyes? Who's in the drive-through window at Church's Chicken? Who's in the drive-through window at Crystal? Tell me this woman is not somebody you would see in those drive-through windows. So he asked her, did you go to Vegas? Look at her answer.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
That's insane. I'm not going to lie, though. That was pretty funny. And she thinks she's cute doing this shit. She got caught red-handed. She's doing the interview. And it's just exposing herself. And she thinks it's funny. It's not funny. Well, it was funny the way she tried to dodge the question, but your circumstance is not funny, ma'am.
Yes. Of course I do.
Were you?
It's not paid by them.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
Actually, yes.
Damn. So she flew first class on taxpayer dollars. Just like a certain mayor that we know from New Orleans, she's not going to be punished. She won't be punished.
Credit card records do shed some light on tax dollars spent at several restaurants near the Strip, including Cafe Hollywood and Hot and Juicy Crawfish.
All right. Any other questions?
So you're not going to answer
Y'all know how much these black women love their crawfish. So she caught red-handed at this point.
how taxpayer dollars are being spent? That seems odd.
I just answered it. What do you mean? I just answered your questions.
You said you wouldn't answer about Las Vegas.
You asked me a question and I responded. So any other questions you may have?
They may have signed up for a conference, but they never bring anything back. So we have no idea why they go to these trips.
Remember, we mentioned Henyard was also supervisor at Thornton Township. WGN Investigates obtained copies of that agency's credit card statements as well. They show township taxpayers also spent money on the Vegas trip on everything from steak dinners to hotels and $3,741 just on Henyard's round-trip flight.
But I shouldn't have to sit up here and break all this down.
When trustees refused to pay a big block of bills this week, the mayor accused them of putting vital city services in jeopardy.
We need receipts to understand what's going on.
We couldn't help but notice the red hat perched in front of Mayor Henyard throughout the meeting.
No, she got a Bubba Gump shrimp hat from the restaurant that she's spending taxpayer dollars. So you can't make this shit up, y'all. And here's the big issue. Black men are so castrated. Listen to how soft this nigga sounds, bruh. Respectfully, shout out to bruh. But listen to how soft this nigga. You have, it looks like damn near all of the city council is black. Damn near all the city council is black. And, multiple black men. And it's like they can't do anything about her.
Putting vital city services in jeopardy.
We need receipts to understand what's going on.
Like he just sounds defeated,
We couldn't help but notice the red hat perched in front of Mayor Henyard throughout the meeting. It's from the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company, which, by the way, was apparently a stop on the Vegas trip. $303.
No way she spent $303 at Bubba Gump Shrimp. The most I'm spending at Bubba Gump Shrimp If it's me and my girl, reluctantly, I'll spend $78 plus a $10 tip. Reluctantly. But by myself, might run up a cool 30, 35, maybe even 40, 43. But $303? Absolutely not.
To Thornton Township taxpayers.
Shout out to Sonny Singh. He says probably 200 of that was drinks. Yeah, I totally agree.
We just feel lost, and we just want the powers that be to step in and say, hey, you know, something's got to give.
Is there anybody else? I just want to be clear. Anybody else after that? That it? That's it?
You hear anybody else? Anybody else? Can you imagine getting food from a look at his brother's face too? He's like, God, I've never dealt with an unruly woman like this before. Goodness gracious. But you hear her. Anybody else? Anybody else want it? Anybody else want it? This is exactly how they act in the service industry. This is exactly how they act in the service. And anybody else want to go? Anybody else want to say something? Got something to say? You got something to say? Who got something to say? We got something to say? Y'all got something to say? Okay, meeting's done. Adjourned. Y'all know how these hoes be, bro.
Something's got to give.
Is there anybody else? I just want to be clear. Anybody else after that? That it? That's it?
This that attitude we were talking about. Anybody else? That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Please be it. Please be it. Everybody stop grilling me. Okay, that's it. That's it. Meeting adjourned. Damn, I can't stand them. Can't stand them.
Specifics from Dalton and Thornton Township about these credit card charges, expenses, and how they benefited taxpayers, but received no clarity. Mayor Henyard invited us to come back to Dalton and the township to showcase upcoming turkey giveaways.
Shout out to D Sledge. You said that bitch ready to fight. Yes, she is.
Programs and plans for an ice rink. Proof, she says, that she lives up to her moniker, the People's Mayor.
An ice
Ben
rink.
Bradley, WGN
Get the
investigates.
fuck out of here. Why do they need an ice rink? Anyways, the point is, and we're going to conclude it on that. The point is, a lot of these sisters are behind this terrible customer service. That's a fact. Now imagine if you had to marry her. Oh God. And this is what they want us to do as black men, to marry women like that. So yeah, I mean, it pretty much is right in your face. That's exactly how they act in the service industry. That was a great example. And they act like that with no power at all. They act like that and they'll be a cash register like clerk or some shit, or they'll be the bitch on the drive-through. And they'll act like that. Now imagine when they have power, political power, uninhibited political power, and political power that is supported and upheld no matter if she makes mistakes, breaks the law, breaks rules, misuses funds, misallocates funds, you know, runs the whole city into the ground. It doesn't matter because you have to support her because, well, she a black woman and shit. It's ridiculous. But anyways, you already know what it is. It's your boy, the Black Gen Z Mindset, aka BGZM News 17, aka Jenquavius Jackson. And we are going to send it to Jenquavius Jackson to take us away. Guys, please, please, please leave a comment immediately. We got 29 people on the stream. Leave a comment immediately after the stream so that I can know that you are supporting the channel and we can continue to grow. Also, like the video, share the video. If you don't mind, contribute to the Cash App, the PayPal, or the GoFundMe in support of the channel. All of these funds will be put back into the channel so that we can not only grow our reach, but also, you know, enable or it'll allow me to stay motivated and continue to do this content because y'all know YouTube has me shadow banned and demonetized. That's why we weren't able to get, I mean, usually on live streams, I'm getting 70, 100 people in there, but I know I just started amping up live streams again. So, you know, we're going to get these numbers up. We're going to get the support up. We're going to get these stories out there in the public so that you guys can see them and understand them. And we're going to break them down from the perspective of a guy who pretty much knows all of the little intricacies and nuances of the community. So with that being said, I appreciate everyone. Love you guys. I hope you have a safe, blessed, wonderful evening. We're going to go ahead and send it to Jinquavius to take us away. Peace and be safe. What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jinquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe. Hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jinquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga Jinquavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pocket.
Y'all tell me what they say.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take all
What
your
more
shit
do
off.
you want from me?
What?
You're not my dad! You also want to hear something! Ugly ass fucking...
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
So it is what it is.